Talking to the mic, man.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
Talking to the mic.
Squad.
Put the thing closer to the mic.
Hey.
Talking to it.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Bang, bang. Wait. What's wrong? Alright. Squad.
Talk.
Squad.
Say stuff.
Alright. I'm saying stuff off the back.
Just talk, man.
I'm talking, bro. This is how I talk. I'm talking right now. Squad. 1, 2, 3. Random things. Squad. Is it working? 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Now I'm backwards. Yeah. Now talk.
Hello.
Talk more.
Squad.
Dude, stop saying fucking squad. Sorry. Say I have a conversation. Talk, you know, sound check.
But I can't even hear myself. Alright.
You can't hear yourself yet. Okay.
Alright. Hello, is it working?
Because you plugged me.
Is it working out? Alright. Testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
You can't hear yourself?
Nah. It's not. Am I hearing my? Nope. All I'm hearing is nothing. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Wait.
I can hear you good.
Wait, but I
I
can't.
can hear you good.
Alright.
I can hear you good.
Mic sound check. How we doing, man? Are we in there yet? Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3.
There must be a short in this. There must be a short in this. Of course there's a short.
Test 1, 2, 3. Talking 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I can hear you good on that. Say squad ever again, okay?
Alright.
Really?
No, I don't know why I was saying that.
Say nothing then. Never say squad again. Okay?
Sorry.
Team. Team is okay. Squad is a military term.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I don't want to have flashbacks, motherfucker.
Alright, I want team.
Alright, how we doing?
How we doing, man?
How we doing? Talk.
We on this? Yeah, we on this. I still can't hear myself, but because we not plugged in yet.
Alright, let's see if you can.
But we
Let's
get
see if I
plugged
can
in.
get you working.
We're getting plugged in this moment right now. 3,
You know what? Hold on.
2,
Hold on. I got an idea.
2.5. Damn.
Yeah, move the mic back. Scoot up closer. Just for a second.
Yeah. Sauce for
You know
sale.
what? Even better. Even better.
Wait.
Even better. More space. More space. Where's that? Where's that?
Oh yeah. Oh, is there?
Now can you hear yourself?
Check 1, 2, 3. Hell no, you can't hear nothing, bruh. If you ain't
Hear nothing out of your mic?
If you ain't got the sauce, you're lost. What the fuck is wrong with this?
Now try it.
Hello? If you ain't got the sauce, you look. Nope.
This mic. This must be close.
Wow.
Here, give me that. Give me that.
You don't want that?
That's put it in there. It's not working. For some reason. Talk.
Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. Real sauce. Wait, is it good? Testing 1, 2, 3. Welcome back. Are we back on live or air?
Talk.
I'm talking, man. We on air. Are we working? TikTok or what? Is it working? Let me see, man. I'm trying to listen too. Testing 1, 2, 3. And you got the sauce. You lost. Feel something, man. Testing 1, 2, 3. Bro, according to this, is it?
Talk.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Talk.
Let me see. All right. The day, the blues day. Here's sound. Testing 1, 2, 3. Sound works. Does the sound work? If you ain't got the sauce. A Barbadian bullfrog. Is it working?
Pictures on.
What else is on?
I don't understand what these headphones are for. I think I know why. Right, here's the thing. You're going to have to monitor the problem. Yeah, I can hear you now.
You hear now? Can you hear me right now?
See if you can hear yourself.
Can I please hear me? Yeah, I can hear myself. Yes. This is how it is now when you're. Wait, can you hear me also? Huh? Jen.
Yes.
All right, perfect.
You can hear me, right?
I can hear you like without the headphones, but.
You can hear me now, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
All right.
Let's get it. No squad.
All right.
And you got no sauce, you lost. Wait,
what?
am I gonna be on air?
What?
Am I gonna be on the air?
You're on air right now, live.
All right, so it started.
Well, no, it hasn't,
right.
because what's going to happen next is we're going to test a couple things.
All right. Dang, what did you do?
Now, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, what happens when I do this? Can you hear me now?
It turns off.
It turns off?
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Tell me what sounds better, like this or like that? What sounds better?
It's not really a difference.
Doesn't it sound different?
No.
Okay. All right, how you doing, Reese?
Hey, what's up, Jim?
We're here at the farmers market. We're doing the beta test here. We're about to start a broadcast at 11 a.m. So we're about to start broadcasting and on live and in color there. Yeah, aren't we happy?
They're great. They're living, breathing. This shit.
Okay. All right.
Do you curse on air? Nah.
I try not to, but you can because it's YouTube, so you're allowed to. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, right, is you're gonna come over. You're gonna no.
Unplug. Whoa.
Leave it on. I unplugged it, bro. Leave it on. Hi. They're coming around here.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Dude. That's.
They're good.
All right. Watch hitting the table.
I think it's
Dude, focus, bro. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, you ready to get on?
Yeah, we're ready, man.
Ready?
Let me know.
Yeah, in 3 minutes. At 11, we're gonna start.
11, we're gonna start. Okay.
In 3 minutes. So sit your butt down, please. Okay, quick. All right, so the green light will come up. Pay attention, bro. The green light will come up, and then the camera's gonna come on. And hello, Bob Newman. Go ahead and talk. Here we are live at the Farmers Market, Spring Street, and this is Bob Newman, Robert Newman. Hello, Bob.
Hey, how are you? So, here we are. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, by the way. But here we are on 5th Street between Spring and Broadway in downtown Los Angeles. This is the historic downtown Los Angeles Farmers Market. We've been here for a few years. It's every Sunday, rain or shine, between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. And this is a certified farmers market. And what we mean by that is that, like I said, everybody that's here is certified agriculture to be here, meaning that they are a producer of their very own item that they're selling. So, for example, we have here some wonderful hot foods. We have tacos, we have tamales, we've got crepes, we've got some agua fresca juices. We also have some real organic stuff. We got honey, for example. Jonah's Bees honey is here, so that's great for your immune system.
Bob, sorry to interrupt. Do you have belts? Does anybody have belts?
Belts?
Belts. If not, you owe me a belt because my belt broke setting all this up. My belt on my pants.
Is that why your pants are down
now Reese is all, pull your pants up. It's like my belt broke, bro.
Okay. Well, yes, we do have craft vendors. I was going to get to there. But we do have craft vendors as well. We have wonderful jewelry. We have people selling some leather goods, belts. Actually, I have somebody who makes their own candles. They're selling those. And then, of course, we have somebody that sells wonderful, decorative,
Is that lady
unique
that
plants.
does the candles? The lady or is
Yes,
that the guy?
yes, lady. Veronica Candles.
Veronica Candles.
Yeah,
Excellent.
and Veronica herself is here in the flesh.
Oh, is there any chance that we could have an interview with Veronica in a little bit?
Yeah. Well, we're going to get some vendors over here. We're going to have some interviews because, first of all, number one, we want to get the people to get familiar with the products.
Right.
Okay. We also want people to know that this is their farmers market. This is a real down-home farmers market. Like I said, vendors, like I said, are coming within, 80 to 100 miles maximum. So that means this is all homegrown products right here from our local Los Angeles County basin. And you know what? The cool thing about this is, too.
You know what the cool thing is, Bob, is that you're my mentor, and I really appreciate that.
Well,
man.
thank you.
Because of you and Jordan B. Peterson, my life has turned around, and I really appreciate that. I want to let you know that live and in living color on YouTube. Okay.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and
I also have a lag, so I was able to fix. So your face now, whoever sits in that chair is it's all face. They're gonna be all over the internet. It's gonna be great.
Wow.
You're looking great. Okay. And Bob, so the key to the city is one of the reasons that we're doing this podcast, right? Associated, me and you are associated with Key to the City, and the Spring Street Farmers Market. How long has it been going on?
Well, it's the historic downtown farmers market off of Spring Street on 5th Street.
Historic downtown.
Historic downtown farmers market.
Oh, okay. So
we want to get the branding right here.
Historic downtown farmers market.
Right.
I will get the branding right, Bob.
Get the chalkboard out. We're going to have you write it down 100 times.
Well, actually, Bob, it's funny you mention that because, as you can see, we have brought our own makeshift chalkboard.
Oh, we did. Wow.
We brought two sizes.
See, that's what happens when you joke around about stuff. Look
That's
at
right.
Asking you shall receive.
You shall receive. That's correct. And that right there there's two sizes, one big, one small. And right now, how's your handwriting? Mine's terrible.
Well, mine's horrible.
Reese? It's not good either.
No,
you know what we need?
I do know somebody that's got good handwriting.
We need someone with good handwriting that wants to come over.
We're going to go get somebody with good handwriting.
And wants to write the historic, and then we're going to put that on camera.
All right, fair enough.
Okay? Now,
there
Bob,
we go.
So, Bob, how long has it been going on again?
So this market's been going on for almost 5 years now. It's pretty awesome.
It is. Hey, Bob, I really am enjoying it. I've been coming here since you told me about it over a year ago.
Right.
Maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
How long have you been in charge?
Well, myself and Adam are co-managing this market, and he's a great team member. And we're going to have Adam come over here in a little bit once he can break away. And it's been going now. I've been involved with the market for 2 years when I worked on the historic core bid side on Sundays. But I have now working with Southland. That's the association that manages the market. That's in strategic alliance with the historic core business improvement district. And I've been doing it I've been doing it about 6 months.
Well, DC native here, you know. Well,
Yeah, okay,
you know,
yeah.
Sorry.
So that's
Go
right,
ahead.
that's right.
6 months you've been a co-manager with Adam, you said.
Yeah, of the farmers market. And so the market is growing, it's expanding. We've got some really cool things that we'll talk about that down the road here on this broadcast. But getting back to what you just mentioned about key to the city. So it's great here to promote the farmers market. But another thing that you and I are working on is the key
happily working on.
That's right. Key to the City, okay, which is a nonprofit, and basically is an organization that is in support of the entire community, including the homeless population. And
that's nice to hear. In support of the entire community.
The entire community. And what we're doing some phenomenal stuff. The first thing that we're doing, okay, with this organization is going into the areas where there's encampments, going into the areas where there's not many services, both, not only for just for the homeless, but even the city services. And we are putting on an event on second Saturday of the month, every month, in strategically in particular areas, so that we can go ahead and help people and become better neighbors, those that are in the encampments, those that are shelterless, and then of course those in the businesses, residents that have a better understanding of those people in the encampments, and realize that whether you have a home or not, whether you have a business owner or not, we're all part of the community. And so we're just building bridges, strengthening the community. Our slogan is building a healthy community together. And then by doing that, in hopes that we can accomplish two things. One, get the community involved with the biggest social issue that we have currently going on. I can't think of anything bigger. Homelessness, mental illness, drug and alcohol addiction, and all those underlying problems. And then what we're also doing is helping people transition out of those encampments, hopefully get them off the streets and in a more positive environment. And so this is what we need to do. And on top of that, too, is I think it breaks down the barriers, it quells people's fears, because they really don't understand all the dynamics that go along with homeless. And by the way, anybody can be homeless. Because
Bob, have you ever been homeless?
I have, sir. I have.
What was that like? Could you give us a brief description?
Well, you know what it was like? I mean, it was one of those things for me. Everybody has a little different reason as to why they get homeless. Everybody's unique. But in my particular case, and this is why Obamacare is so important, is I had no health insurance. And I ended up getting diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. I ended up also having prostate cancer. And what happened is that I just went belly up. I ended up spending all my money and had nothing left. Okay? And so what happens when you don't have health insurance, you can easily go from a very comfortable place
to a hellish place.
So I ended up sleeping out of a car for 9 months, and then finally got some help to get back on track. And the rest is history. But so I can.
And the history basically is that Bob, after having that experience, was like, you know what? My life before, it was great, but guess what? It can be greater. And Bob has now dedicated himself. He started the Key to the City. I thank you, Bob, for doing that nonprofit. And Key to the City, it's important to remember that Key to the City is a hand up, not a handout.
Yep, exactly. That's a whole process, really, if you're going to help people, is you got to touch them where they're at. You got to touch them where their unique characteristics, their personality. You got to meet them where they're at, and then you got to bring them forward from there. The cookie cutter approach that we have in the social service system is
Bob,
not going to work.
they love the podcast. Everyone is just watching and looking, and they're all excited. Right? Everyone that's walking by is all like into it and wanting to know what's going on. It's a great thing.
Really cool. Well, that's where we're going to have to put up the.
That's what I'm saying. So can you take just a break and go get the?
Let me do that.
Go get the hand, and I'll interview that person real quick.
I'm going to walk with a pen and give people a little test, see how their calligraphy is.
That's a great idea. Take this and take one of the small ones. Take a small one for a test.
Actually, you know what? My co-manager Adam, he's really good.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think he's.
Well, let's just go get Adam over here.
Yeah, let me.
Let's get Adam over
waving
here.
at him. Can you see me, Adam?
Adam,
Is he ignoring me?
is he? Go grab him. I got it. I'll cover the sound.
All right.
All right. Hey, everybody. This is Gem. That's GEM. And one of the things that we're going to be talking about besides Key to the City and besides the downtown historic is it historic downtown or downtown historic? Okay, we'll say downtown we'll say historic downtown farmers market. And one of the things we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. And 12 Rules for Life, I bought this yesterday right next door at the last bookstore. So that's what's happening. We're going to be doing this today. We're going to have this as being something that's going to be. Can you read it? Can you see it real good on the? Tell me, is it better like this? Like that's better? Okay, see, that's Reese. If you guys can hear him, you might not be able to. He's not mic'd up right now. Maybe later. Not right now, though. Okay, we're having fun. It's been an interesting day. I almost got into a fist fight with a one-legged musician, but hey, it didn't happen. I held myself back. It was totally my fault because I am an Obstreperous Eccentric. That's the name of the channel, and that's what I am, an Obstreperous Eccentric. If you ever have to work with me, understand that you're going to be like, I know what they mean now by obstreperous. And I would say that I'm sorry about that, but I'm not. So, suck it. Okay, and something good, like a lemon, Anyway, kids might be listening. I'm attempting not to cuss. Reese, Reese, why don't you come back over here and Reese, get back on. Reese, take that off. Come back over to the mic. Yeah, he was shaking his head. All right, now let's get centered on the camera. Let me. Okay, that's good. You're looking at the camera.
Yeah.
All right, talk, Reese. Talk.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Talk, Reese.
It's me, Reese.
What's your last name?
Aviles.
All right, and Reese, how old are you?
I'm 18.
And you're gonna turn 19 next month.
Yeah, this month
May,
right here.
April?
No, May.
That's next month, bud. That's next month.
Yeah.
Hey, he's 18, people. What do you expect? He's all full of hormones and fucking other thoughts. But hey, he's a hard worker when he puts his mind to it. So Reese, what's it like working for me so far? What?
I feel like
Go ahead.
It's very valuable working with Chem because
Oh, really? That's a very nice compliment. Very valuable work with me. Okay. Most people would say he's a complete and utter asshole. And see, I cussed right there. Asshole is not allowed. Ass. I can say ass.
Yeah, you can say it.
I can say ass. I can't say let's go get a piece of ass, but I can say Gem, that's me. GEM, that's me, is an ass. Am I an ass? I'm an ass. It's okay. Sometimes. Because why?
We all are sometimes.
Because I'm an Obstreperous Eccentric. That's right. That's right.
It is right.
Now, is that a birthmark on your face right there? Under your eye? How'd that happen? Do you know?
Nah, actually, this is not a birthmark.
It's a burn?
Yeah, these two like a burn.
What?
For being a little kid that never drank water, passed out on a bike.
You what?
I passed out on a bike for being dehydrated.
Wow, how old were you?
I was about, let's say 10, 11.
Wow. At
It's
10, 11, I knew to drink water, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. Who knows what I was doing. I was on a lot of drugs when I was 10. No, I was on a lot of drugs. I'm talking about me now. Phenobarbital. Well, I had, hey everyone, welcome to the farmer's market. I had serious issues. I had, epilepsy, severe. Yeah, that's great. Okay, Reese, get out of his seat. Get out of Bob's seat. Hurry up, Reese. Gosh, you're still there. Hurry up.
Oh, thank you. I thought he was going to pull the seat out from under me and make me hit the ground.
Oh, I would have heard him. He won't. He's a good kid. He's a good guy.
He's a great guy.
He's a young man. He's not a kid. He's a young man.
I'm glad he's here. So I didn't find anybody who is willing to demonstrate their penmanship.
Are you joking?
But don't worry, I'll find somebody. Well, you know what it is? It's kind of about lunchtime for some of the people. So
they're kind of hungry. Oh,
so they're eating, and but we're
let's just stop a passerby. Does either one of you ladies have good handwriting, penmanship? Does she? Could you write us, please? Go ahead.
So we would like you to write.
We're going to have someone
farmers market.
We
would like you to write downtown historic farmers market. Downtown historic farmers market.
Downtown.
My handwriting is horrible.
Mine is too. I have various palsies, so I'm serious. I'm not kidding, but it's funny. It is.
Yeah,
it's funny when you.
Mine is legal.
Something.
Mine is legalitis from going to law school.
That looks great. That looks way better.
That's fantastic.
Wow, she
that's
is
impressive.
doing
Look how balanced that is.
Oh my goodness, that really is.
All the letters.
I'm not joking when I tell you that is wonderful. That really looks good.
Thank you so much.
That is such an appreciative.
Is this your first time at the farmers market?
For this one.
Yeah, well, great. Well, thank you. Well, we're here every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah. And what were your names?
Annalise.
Annalise was the one who wonderfully wrote that for us. And is that your mom, Annalise?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is a great
Look
job,
at that.
Annalise. What was your name, man?
Veronica.
Veronica and Annalise. Thank you guys so much. You were on YouTube. You're right there. Thank you for joining us at the Downtown Historic Farmers Market. You did a great job.
Thanks. Thank you so much. Look at that.
That is a great job.
So impressive.
That is awesome.
She has
right there.
Yeah, she has a future.
Yes, for sure.
Billboards or something.
What's going on, buddy? We had a disconnect or something? We had a lag.
A little lag. Okay. So over here. It's still going? It's still going?
Oh, it's still going.
It's still going.
Well,
it was a little bit of a lag. It was a little bit of
audio.
a lag.
You know, we can continue audio, video. We just keep it rolling.
Yeah, just keep
It's
rolling. It's all
Hollywood.
good. It's Hollywood. It's Hollywood. I was talking to him. I bought this yesterday.
Yeah, what is this?
This.
Oh, the Jordan B. Peterson. Yeah.
This is the Jordan.
That's
B.
a book
Peterson
you were telling me about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the book and the guy. He has been a huge help in me starting to at least attempt. I don't know how much I've done so far, but at least attempt to get my life together. And I'm a little older than he recommends getting started, as I'm 48. I'll be 49 in August. I'm an ancient person in my head.
Wow, nice hardback book too.
Right? Yeah, I got.
This book is for dual purpose.
Yeah. Oh, it is for dual purpose. It is to straighten me out. And whenever I do something stupid, I just take it and I hit myself in the head with it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. And I also got, and this is also on the recommendation of Dr. Jordan B. Peterson. I don't know if you're familiar with this.
Wow. George Orwell.
George Orwell. Have you read that one?
I have not.
Me neither. I've read Animal Farm, and I've read.
Look at this.
I've read 1984 multiple times. I'm very excited to read that, and I actually was.
Decency.
I'm planning.
That's the underlying meaning here. Right?
I was planning on during lag time between interviews, having Reese read the Road to Wigan Pier for us live on the on the YouTube. That's the plan for today.
Well, you guys don't need me then.
No, we need more interviewers. We definitely we need more interviews.
Let me go
interviewees. I mean,
let me go grab some. I have somebody very interesting. Okay, I'll be right back, folks. Hang in there.
Start the reading.
Thank
Let
you.
the reading begin.
Thank you. Let the reading begin. He says, "Excellent. I like to hear excitement about things, especially about something as important to me." Is it still going good? We still going? What color is it now up top? Green. It's green again. We had a little bit of a lag. Sorry about that. We're live and in color. Oh, we got doggies coming. Doggies. Doggies. Yeah. All right. Well, Reese, are you ready to start reading? You ready to start? Okay, leave those on because I'm going to give you this seat. Okay? So Reese is going to be taking over. He's going to start to read this book. Reese, I don't know if you're familiar with how you read out loud to a group. Okay? So I'm just going to give you a quick little, so you're going to announce yourself, and then you're going to say, "I'm going to read," and Wigan Pier, George Orwell. So so just an example, and you're going to do it just like I do it right now, okay? I'm about to read to you. And the book is The Road to Wigan Pier by George Orwell. And then you would open it, and you would say, The Road to Wigan Pier. Page 1. Part 1. Chapter 1. And then you're going to start reading, okay? Are you ready? Are you ready, my friend? Are you ready? Because you are not only my IHSS worker, but you are my friend, okay? And my protege. And I got it right here to start. Ready? Okay, and switch.
Alright.
Okay, read.
I am
Well,
going to read.
You're gonna get your mouth should be that close to the mic.
Alright. I'm gonna read to you The Road to Wigan Pier by George Orwell. The Road to Wigan Pier. Oh wait, no. Forward.
Listen, you go this way. Books go this way, bro. Say it again.
Alright. The Road to Wigan Pier. Part 1. Chapter 1. The first sound in the mornings was the clumping of the mill girls clogged down the Clock Street. Earlier than that, I suppose there were factory whistles which I was never awake to hear. There were generally 4 of us in a bedroom, and a beastly place it was. And that defilled apartment looked of rooms that were not serving their rightful purpose. Years earlier, the house had been an ordinary dwelling house, and when the Brookers had taken it and fitted it out as a trip shop and lodging house, they had inherited some of the more useless pieces of furniture, and had some of the more unless useless pieces of the furniture, and had never had the energy to remove them. We were there for sleeping in what was still recognizable, a drawing room hanging from the ceiling. There was a heavy glass chandelier on which the dust was so thick that it was like fur. And covering most of one wall there was a huge, hideous piece of junk. Something between a sideboard and a hall stand, which lots carving and little jars, carpet ridged by the slope hills of years. And 2 gilt chairs were birch seats, and one of those old-fashioned armchairs, which you slide off when you try to sit on them. The room had been turned into a bedroom by thrusting 4 squalid beds in among this other wreckage.
Now take a break. Say take a break.
Take a break. Taking a break right now.
You're going to interview Adam. Okay, Adam, you're going to get your.
Hey, what's
right
up,
there.
Adam?
That's
How's it
Adam.
going?
All right. How you been, man?
Pretty good.
No dead
How's-
air.
Yeah. What do you work here as?
Yeah, so I'm actually the farmers market manager for Historic
Cool.
Downtown. We're here every Sunday. We have a couple other markets where it's hosted by Southland Farmers Markets, which we're kind of everywhere right now. We're expanding.
That sounds cool, man.
Yeah, whatever we can do to bring fresh produce, things that are made by different companies to the market to bring out to the people of the local areas. Like right now in
Sounds
Historic
great.
Downtown LA.
Yeah.
We have fresh yogurts made by
Yummy.
Made Daily. We have guacamole. We got salsas. We got fresh waters, crepes. We got carnitas and tacos. We got on the grower side, we got vegetables, citrus. We got avocados. Just the list goes on.
Yeah, the list never ends. That's what we need in this community right now. It's perfect.
Anything we can do to get more of the reach out there, to let people know that we're here, come
Yeah.
down and check it out. We want anybody and everybody to come by. We even accept cash, card, debit card, credit card, EBT. And with the EBT, we have a match program, which is pretty cool.
All right, it's cool.
If you get we match up to $10, so we give
$10?
you free money.
Ooh,
So,
okay,
you know,
can't beat
more
that.
incentive.
Sounds great, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So going towards this, towards your setup over there, you can feel free to just have a yogurt or whatever, like anything you want, like it's food-wise, right?
Well, there's a certain qualifications that if you want to come into the market to set up as a vendor.
Yeah.
So pretty much, first we need to verify that in reality what you're making is what you're making.
Yeah.
You have a health permit from the city
Okay,
or from the county to verify that in reality that there's no cross contaminations, that you're following all the health code regulations.
All right.
If you're a grower, we want to make sure that you have your certificate, so you're actually a certified grower.
Yeah, proof.
So
Yeah.
we don't allow. Say somebody grows lemons off their back tree, their backyard.
Yeah.
We don't allow them to sell them at this market because we don't know what kind of pesticides or what you put in the soil, how they're cured, if they're your lemons. So everything is very strict on who comes into the market.
Yeah.
And if you're ever interested, come down, come talk to me. My name's Adam, or you can talk to Bob, he's my assistant manager, and then we can go through all that. But everyone here, that's one of the main things, since we're actually a certified farmers market.
Yeah, it sounds legit.
We make sure that everything is quality, and you're getting good things, and you don't have to worry about any kind of health issues, any kind of cross contamination with anything that you're purchasing, and that you can feel healthy purchasing from us.
Yeah, it sounds trustworthy. I'm sounding like I'm very interested in it right now.
Thank you.
Not even look at it, like go over there and see it. I'm already interested. But yeah, what else questions?
Well, we're open every day, every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Year-round, rain or shine. Participation is always key here. Everyone's always here, so if you can't make it out one Sunday, you can make it out the next Sunday.
Yeah.
Feel free to check out our Facebook page. It's Historic Downtown LA.
Check that out, guys. Yeah,
check that out, and then you can ask me direct questions. I'm the one always responding. We have markets in Kaisers as well throughout all the week. So if there's any specific day you're looking for a farmers market hosted by Southland, let us know, and we can direct you to that. Also, feel free to visit our website. It's at www.sfma.net, and you can get all the information there, all our farmers markets, how to be a vendor, pretty much anything you need to know, and we should help you out there.
All right. Thanks for your information, man.
Yeah, no
problem. I use all of that. Thanks again.
All right, so we're going to bring over a vendor, the very first vendor.
All right.
Okay. So here's, by the way,
Anybody interested?
Huh?
Anybody interested?
Yeah, back up.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
That's right.
Keep talking.
All right, yeah. So what's next? Wait, hold up,
I'm
bro.
leaving, dude. You're gonna keep talking, so keep reading.
All right.
Continue where you left off, right there, okay? I have an appointment. I have to go. Thank you, Adam. Say thank you, Adam.
All right, thank you, Adam. For real, I appreciate everything, man.
Thank you for your time, and
all right.
Feel free to come down. If you come down and say that you heard this podcast, mention Adam, and I'll hook you up. I got you guys.
All right, man. Stick around, guys. We still got more coming. Never stays dry around here. All right, I'm gonna keep on reading too.
No, Bob's here. So whenever Bob, go ahead, take it now. Talk. Let Bob talk.
So we're gonna have a vendor. A vendor. I was talking about earlier how we're a bit local. We have a very local vendor. So local. Matter of fact, we'll let him tell you how close he is, really. But it's gonna be Vagabond cheese. So just we'll give him a few minutes. He's racking up those sales there. People love his cheese product from all over the place. And you name it, he's got it. And if you like stinky cheese, man, he's got some real stinky cheese.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you smell that far away, man. It's delicious.
That's right. There you go. So anyway, he's going to be over here momentarily. So
no one's at that seat. You're just reading from where you left off, okay?
George Orwell, huh?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
man, he's
Go
jamming.
Ahead. Fire away, man. We'll be back momentarily.
All right. Let's start it again, man.
No, start right where you left off.
Yeah.
My bed.
All right, my bed was in the right-hand corner on the side nearest the room. There was another bed across a foot of it and jammed hard against it. It had to be in the position to allow the door to open. So that I had to sleep with my legs doubled up. If I straightened them out, I kicked the occupant of the other bed in the small of the back. He was an orderly man named Mr. Riley, a mechanic of sorts and employed on top at one of the coal pits. Luckily, he had to go to work at 5 in the morning, so I could uncoil my legs and have a couple of hours proper sleep after he was gone. Where was I? Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. All right. In the bed opposite there was. I'm back, guys. It was Oh yeah, in the bed opposite there was a Scotchman who had been injured in a pit accident. A huge chunk of stone pinned him down to the ground, and it was a couple of hours before they could lever it off, and had received 500 pounds compensation. He was a big, handsome man of 40 with grizzled hair and clipped mustache, more like a sergeant major than a minor, and he would lie in bed till late in the day smoking a short pipe. The other bed was occupied by a section of commercial travelers, newspaper canvassers, and hired punkies, touts who generally stayed for a couple of nights. It was a double bed and much the best in the room. I had slept in my first night there, but had been maneuvered out of it make room for another lodger. I believe all newcomers spent their first night in double bed, which was used, so to speak, as bait. All the windows were kept tight shut with a red sandbag jammed in the bottom, and in the morning the room stank like a ferret's cage. You did not notice it when you got up, but if you went out of the room and came back, the smell would hit you in your face with a smack. Yeah. I never discovered how many bedrooms the house contained, but strange to say, there was a bathroom dating from the butcher's time. Downstairs there was the usual kitchen living room, which is huge, open range, burning night and day. It was light only by skin light. For on one side of it was a shop, on the other the larder, which opened in some dark submarine place where the tripe was stored. Partly blocking the door of the larder, there was a sharply sofa, upon which Mrs. Brooker, our landlady, lay permanently ill, festooned in grimy blankets. She had a big, pale, yellow, anxious face. No one knew for certain what was the matter with her. I suspect that her only real trouble was overeating. In front of the fire there was almost a line of damp washing, and in the middle of the room lodgers ate. I never saw this table completely uncovered, but I saw it various unwrapped at different times. At the bottom there was a layer of old newspaper stained by orchid sauce. Above the sheet of sticky white oil cloth, above a green serge cloth, above that a coarse linen cloth, never changed and seldom taken off. Generally, the crumbs from breakfast were still on the table at supper. I used to get to know individual crumbs by sight and watch their progress up and down the table for the day to day. The shop was a narrow, cold sort of room. On the outside of the window, white letters, relics of ancient chocolate advertisements, were scattered like stars. Inside there was a slab upon which lay the great white folds of stripe and the great flatulent stuff known as black tripe, and the ghostly translate feet of pigs, ready boiled. It was ordinary tripe and pia shop, and not much else was stocked except bread, cigarettes, and tin stuff. We're good. Alright. Tears were advised in the window, but if the customer demanded a cup of tea, he was usually put off with excuses. But Mr. Brooker, though out of work for 2 years, was a miner by trade. But he and his wife had kept shops of various kinds as a sideline all their lives. At one time they had a pub, but they had lost their license for allowing gambling on the premises. I doubted whether any of their businesses had ever paid. They were the kind of people who run businesses chefly in order to have something to grumble about. Mr. Brooker was a dark, small-boned, sour, Irish-looking man, and astonishingly dirty. I don't think I ever once saw his hands clean. As Mr. Brooker was now an invalid, he prepared most of his food. And like all people with permanently dirty hands,
Have a seat. Right here.
he had a particularly intimate.
All right, so we got Vagabond Cheese, one of the vendors. How's it going?
How you doing, man? Good? That's all right. So, yeah. You're one of these vendor dudes, man. How you been?
Good. How about you?
All right, hanging in there. So yeah, tell us about how it is and what's the root of it? Like what makes it legitly? I would say, is it like vegan or something? You guys selling vegan or is it like?
No, we sell like traditional.
Traditional.
Cheeses. So we're not a producer ourselves.
All right.
But we we source cheese from around the world. So
Okay.
we have like 50% of the stuff we work with is from the States.
Yeah.
And then about 50% from Europe. But we're all about like supporting really small farms and sourcing stuff that's made in as traditional a way as possible.
Oh, see, sounds legit to me. All right.
Yeah.
So since it's like that, how does it come like every month or every Sunday? Do you guys prepare?
Farmers market?
Yeah.
We're here every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Yeah.
I see. And like how far is that? Like every Sunday through every month, right? So it's never
year round.
All right, year round. All right, perfect. So, all right, with the cheese, what would bring the customers to know that the cheese is like, like it's not no knockoff brand, like it's worthwhile buying, like.
So for us, the way the biggest question is, does it taste good? Right?
Yeah, of course.
So like our cheese is a little bit more expensive,
but it's worth it.
It's artisanal cheese, right? I think it's worth it for sure.
Yeah, me too.
But it's like we have stuff that's $30-$40 a pound.
Okay.
And so it's not cheap. So for us, I can talk all day about why the cheese costs that much and what goes into producing this kind of cheese that makes it cost that much. But at the end of the day, it's all got to come down to, does this piece of cheese that's $30 a pound taste like it's $30 a pound? And if it doesn't taste like $30 a pound to you, shouldn't buy it.
Yeah,
so we rely really heavily on sampling. And it's important to us to make sure that everybody that buys cheese tastes that cheese, not only because we want to make sure that they like it, but because the types of cheese that we work with they vary enough batch to batch because they're all handmade.
Okay.
That if you liked one cheese last week and you come another week and we have a new batch, but it's the same type of cheese, even from the same producer, it might not be exactly the way you remembered it. So it's really important for us to sample to make sure that our customers are always happy with what they're taking home.
All right, it's cool. You guys hear that? It sounds legit to me. But yeah. So you really know how much you get in that pound or whatever. How many you want and like you weigh it, right?
Yeah. So we can cut different sizes, right? So people can buy a quarter pound, or they can just point and say I want that much cheese.
Yeah.
So we price it by the pound just because we got to figure out a way to put a price on there.
Yeah.
But people can buy whatever size they want.
Yeah, so you guys should check it out, man. Feel free to get a sample. You will like it because I'm already trying to figure out. I'm trying to see how can I get mine. But yeah,
Don't worry, we'll make sure you get some cheese.
Yeah, this. Yeah, what else? What else do you have next?
Well, did you talk about the wide array of cheese that you have?
A little bit. So,
Oh yeah.
just to give you an idea of the type of products that we carry, and I mentioned that we work with products that are small production and that are made using traditional methods. But we stock about 40 different types of cheese on the counter at any given time.
Right.
And so we have new stuff on the counter all the time. So a lot of the cheeses we work with are seasonal or smaller production where they're not always available. But we'll always hit every category, right? So we'll always have a couple of options in the brie neighborhood, a couple of options in the cheddar neighborhood, even if those specific options change over time.
Yeah, we just know that we have it there in this category. We all have it.
So if you have a style of cheese that you like, we always have something that's that's the right answer for that style. Even if we try and bring something new in and keep it interesting.
Cool.
What are some of your hottest sellers as far as cheese?
Yeah, so our best sellers, Goudas are always good sellers. So we have some like older, like traditional Goudas from Holland that are very, very popular. And they're kind of like salty. They have that sort of caramel toffee flavor to them,
it sounds
and like really savory. We also have a marinated sheep and goat cheese that we bring in from Australia. That's one of our best sellers. And so we have a lot of stuff that's more familiar styles, right? People will always buy a lot of cheddar, a lot of Gouda, things like that.
I dig cheddar.
And so, we have great things in those categories. And then part of what's fun for us too is to be here, to give samples and to try and show people new styles of cheese that maybe they've never had before.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about, like I said, these are people that are local. These are people that that are, and you are very local.
Yes, very local. I live next to the farmers market.
Yeah.
All right.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That is cool.
So he knows the palate of this group of people here.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to have you here.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out. Thanks for being a part of the farmers market.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for talking to me.
Appreciate everything.
Good to talk to you.
It's one of our fantastic vendors.
Nice to meet you, man.
You too.
All right.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Sure.
Bang. All right, let's get back on this. All right, let's get back. We're still on the road to Wigan Pier. Page 9. All right, let's get it. It says, all right, if you did not head him off, he would discourse for hours about such things as yellow pearl. No. Trunk murders, astrology, and the conflict between religion and science. The old age consigners had an unusual been driven for their homes by the means test. They handed their weekly 10 shillings over to the Brooks and return got the kind of accommodation you would expect from shillings. That is a bed and attic and meals chiefly of bread and butter. One of them was superior type and was and was dying of some malignant disease, cancer. Whoa. I believe he only got out of bed on the days when he went out to draw his pension. The other, called by everyone Ojak, was ex-miner, age 78, who had worked well off 50 years in the pits. What the heck? He was alert and intelligent, but curious enough to seem only to remember his boyhood experiences and to forgotten all about the modern mining machinery and improvements. He used to tell me tales of fights with savage horses in the narrow galleries underground. When he heard that I was arranging to go down several coal mines, he was competitious. Competitious, and declared that a man of size 6 feet 2.5, which managed the traveling. It was no use telling him that traveling was better than it used to be. But he was friendly to everyone and used to give us all the fine shouts, "Good night, boys," as he crawled up the stairs to his bed somewhere under the rafters. What I most admire about old Jack, was that never caged. He was generally out of tobacco towards the end of the week, but he always refused to smoke anyone else. The Brookers had insured the lives of both old age consignors with one of the 10-a-week companies. It was said that they were overheard anxiously asking the insurance out how long people live when they got cancer. Damn. It says Joe, like the Scotchman, was a great reader of newspapers and spent almost it entirely day in a public library. He was a typical unmarried employment man and dialect-looking, frankly rad creature with a round, almost childish face on which there was a naively naughty expression. He looked more a neglected, complete lack of responsibility that makes so many of these men look younger than their age. From Joe's parents, I took him to be about 28 and was amazed to learn that he was 43. He had a love of resounding phrases and very proud of the tennis with which he had avoided getting married. He often said to me, matrimonial choice is a big item, evidently feeling this to be a very and portentous remark. His total income was 15 shillings a week, and he paid out 6-7 in Brookers for his bed. I sometimes used to see him making himself a cup of tea over the kitchen fire. But for the rest of his meals and his marg and his package of fish and chips, I suppose, besides these, there was a floating clientele of coming in the north, because most of the larger pubs hire variety artists at the weekends. And newspaper canvassers, the newspaper canvassers were a type I never met before. Their job seemed to be so hopeless, so appalling, that I wondered how anyone could put up with such a thing, with prison, with a positive alternative. There were employment mostly by weekly or Sunday papers, and they were sent from town to town, provided with maps and given a list of streets which they had to work each day. They failed to secure a minimum of 20 orders a day. Damn. They got a sack so long as they kept their 20 orders a day. They received a small salary, £2 a week. I think, like, only order of the 20 they drew in a tiny commission. The thing is not so impossible as it sounds. Because in working class districts, every family takes in a 2-penny weekly paper and changes it every few weeks. But whether anyone keeps a job of kind long, the newspaper engaged poor desperate wretches. Out of work clerks and commercial travelers and the like, who for a while make frantic efforts and keep their sales to the minimum. Then, as the deadly work wears them down, they are sacked and fresh men are taken on. I got to know who were employed by one of more notorious weeklies. Both of them were middle-aged men with families to support, and one of them was a grandfather. They were on their feet in 10 hours a day, working their appointed streets, and then busy late into the night filming in blank forms for some swindled their paper, running one of those schemes by which are given a cent of crockery if you take out a 6-week subscription and send a 2-shilling postal order as well. The fat one the grandmother used falsely and is head over powerful forms. Neither of them could afford the pound a week which the brokers charged them a full board. They used to pay a small sum for the beds and make shamefaced meals in the corner of the kitchen of bacon and bread and margarine, which they stored in the suitcases. The brokers had a large number of sons and daughters, most of whom had since fled from home. Some were in Canada. Like Canada, most brokers used to put up. There was only one son living nearby, a large pit-like young man employed in a garage. Who frequently came to the house for his meals. And his wife were all there all day with 2 children. Most of the cooking and laundering was done by her and Emmy. The finest of another son was in London. Emmy was a fair-haired, sharp-nosed, unhappy-looking girl who worked at one of the mills for some starvation wage, but nevertheless spent all of her evenings in bondage at the broker's house. I gathered that the bondage at the broker's house marriage was constantly being postponed and would probably never take place, but Mrs. Booker had already appropriated Amy as a daughter-in-law and nagged her in a particular watchful, loving way that invalids have. The rest of the housework was done, or not done, but by Mr. Brooker. Mrs. Brooker seldom rose from her sofa in the kitchen. She spent the night there as well as the day, and was too ill to do anything except eat stupendous meals. It was Mr. Brooker who attended the shop, gave the lodgers their food, and did out the bedrooms. He had always moving out often. The beds were still unmade and 6 in evening, and at any hour of the day you were liable to meet Mr. Brooker on the stairs carrying well over trim. In the mornings he sat by the fire with a tub of filthy water, peeling potatoes at the center of speed slow motion, which quiet such as air of brooding resentment. You could see the hatred of his bloody woman's work, as he called it, fermenting inside him, a kind of bitter juice. He was one of those people who could chew their grievances like a cud. Of course, as I endured a good meal, I heard all about the Brooker's woes, as I have everyone swindled and was ungrateful to them, and shop did not pay the lodging house, hardly paid. By local standards, they were not so badly off. Far in some way I did not understand. Mr. Brooker was dodging the means test and drawing an allowance from the PAC, but their chief pleasure was talking about their grievance. no, grievances. To any who would list, Mrs. Brucker used to lament by the hour, lying on her sofa, a soft mound of fat and self-pity, saying the same things over and over again. We do not seem to get no customers nowadays. I don't know how it is. The tribe just laying there day after day. Such beautiful tribe it is to do. It seems hard. Do it now. etc, etc, etc. All matters Brucker's layman's ended up with it does seem hard. Do it now, like the refrain of ballad. Certainly it was true that the shop did not pay. The whole place had the unmistakably dusty, fly-blown air of business that is going down, but would have been quite useless to explain to them why nobody came to the shop, even if one had the face to do it. Neither was capable of understanding the last year's dead blue bottle to spend in the shop are not good for trade. But the thing that really tormented them was the thought of those who old age criticizers living in their house, using floor place, devouring food and paying only 10 shillings a week. I doubt whether they're really using money or the old age patronizing, though certainly the profit of on 10 shillings a week must have been very small. But in their eyes, the two men were a kind of devil parasite and had fastened on them and were living on their charity. Old Jack they could just tolerate because he kept out of doors most of the day. But they really hated the bedridden one. It's alright, Hooker. You have Hooker. Alright, Hooker by name. Mr. Brooke had a queer way of pronouncing his name without H and a long U. Hooker what tales I heard about old Hooker and his Frenchness. The nonsense of making his bed, the way he wouldn't eat this and wouldn't eat that, his endless ingratitude, and above all the selfishness obstinately with which he refused to die. The Briggers were quite openly pining for him to die. When that happened, they could at least draw the insurance money. They seemed to feel him there, eating their substance day after day. Although he had been a living worm in the bowels, sometimes Mr. Brooker would look up his potato peeling, catch my eye and jerk head and look of inexpressible bitterness towards the ceiling, towards old Hooker room. It's a B, ain't it? He would say there was no need to say more. I had heard all about old Hookers were already, but the Brookers heard grievance of one kind and another against all their lodgers, myself include, no doubt. Joe being on the PAC was particularly like in the some category as the old age pensioners. The Scotchman paid £1 a week, but he was indoors most of the day, and they didn't like him always hanging around the place. As they put it, the newspaper canvassers were all out of the day. But the bookers bore them a grudge for bringing in their own disgrace because Mrs. Brooker said that he woke her up when he came downstairs in the mornings. They complained pertinently, get the kind out man who paid full board and were out all day. Their ideal lodger would have been somebody who paid 30 shillings a week and never came indoors except to sleep. I have noticed that people who let lodgings nearing hate their lodgers. They were money, but built their look on them as intruders, and have a curiously watchful, jealous attitude.
You're probably tired of reading, right?
No, I'm just going. Yeah, I'm kind of. It's all right though.
Come on in, have a seat.
Hey, how you doing, man? What's your name, by the way? I'm Reese.
Jonas Bees.
Nice to meet you,
Jonas
Reese.
Bees.
Yeah. And can you tell us what is your locally thing about your
What's your product?
Your
Tell
product.
us about your honey.
Oh, we got the honey.
No speak English, sorry.
Oh, no, not too much English. I tell you what. Come back. We're going to get a translator. We're going to do it in Spanish.
All right.
All right? Okay.
All right.
We're going to do it in Spanish.
Thank you.
So I'll tell them a little bit about your bees.
Thank you.
So I'll give the English version, then we'll get somebody to interview him in Spanish. But basically, Jonas Bees, they have their own beehives. Okay, it's pure, organic honey. It's awesome. Well, you know, bees are organic.
Yeah, they're awesome. Heck yeah.
But anyway, it's fantastic stuff, and he's got different flavors in the honey. Besides the basic, honey, and he has honeycomb, and he's just a great product. And as you know, that when you eat honey that's within 80 miles of the area in which you're at, because the bees are pollinating within that same region, it really, a spoonful of honey really helps your immune system.
Yeah.
Or 2 or 3.
Either way, yeah.
Honey's so yummy. So, but I tell you what, we're going to get somebody who feels more comfortable. We'll do a Spanish broadcast.
Yeah, for the Spanish people out there, we didn't forget about you, man. We got you guys.
Okay, so I'll be back.
All right, so.
Downtown Farmers Market.
Yep, downtown farmer market. You guys hear that? We're live right now. Guys, come out here right now and copy anything you see. We're live. All right, back on the road to the pier. Nearly await their lodges. There want to be money, but look on them as intruders. As a careful, watchful, jealous attitude, which at bottom is a determination not to let the lodger make himself too much at home. It is an inevitable result of the bad system by which the lodger has to live somebody else without being one of the family. The meals at the Brooker's house were uniformly disgusting. For breakfast, you got rashers of bacon and a pile of fried eggs and bread and butter, which had often been cut overnight and always had thumb marks on it. However, tactfully I tried. I could never induce Mr. Brooker to let me cut my own bread and butter. Yeah, would had it to me slice by slice. Each slice gripped firmly under the broad bank thumb. For dinner, there were generally those 3-penny steak puddings which are sold ready, made in tins. These were part of stock of the shop. I think, and boiled potatoes and rice pudding. For tea, there was more bread and butter and frayed looking sweet cakes, which were probably bought as stales from the baker. For super, there was the pale flabby Lancashire cheese and biscuits. The Briskers never called these biscuits. They were always refined.
Dayton Farms, one of our biggest vendors.
Hello. All right.
So
Nice to
I'm
meet
going
you.
to ask you some questions too. So come on,
right.
have a seat.
You want to come right here?
Okay. Want to?
All right. Yeah, sure.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, good afternoon. How are you?
Good, and you?
Great, thank you. What's your name?
Lizette.
Lizette. So Lizette works for Gayton Farms.
Yeah.
That's Gaytan. Okay. How long have you been working for Gayton Farms?
So far, I've been working here for like 1.5 years.
1.5 years. Okay. What got you into working for a grower for a farmer's market?
Well, it's a family, so like I just like to help people around.
Okay, cool. So actually you're related to the family.
Yes.
Okay. And that's kind of the cool thing about farmers markets is a lot of the people that are here that are working the booths, selling the product. Okay, in this case you guys are growers.
Yeah.
So you're selling the products that you grow. Okay, you're a certified farmers market vendor. Are usually family members, right?
Yeah.
So it's a family business. That's
Yeah.
really cool. And so what kind of what vegetables and fruit, what do you grow?
I grow carrots, artichokes, asparagus, spinach, beets, celery, cauliflower, broccoli, and many more.
Wow, fantastic. And where's your farm located?
We have different locations. So we have Santa Barbara, Santa Maria, Riverside, and San Bernardino.
Cool.
Santa Barbara.
Awesome. And so you're here, and you guys are here every Sunday with us here at the Downtown Historic Farmers Market, our historic Downtown Farmers Market, one or the other. It's all the same. Here on 5th Street between Spring and Broadway. You guys get here bright and early. And so where do you commute? Do you commute in from Riverside, or where do you come in from?
Well, we come from Riverside. Yeah.
From Riverside, okay, that's great. And so you guys grow, and of course, obviously, vegetables, and stuff, crops are seasonal or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, but so what's your hot sellers? What's
The
great?
well, I would say strawberries and blueberries.
Strawberries and blueberries.
Yeah.
Wow, how do you get those strawberries so red? I mean,
I have no idea.
I mean,
Just grow naturally.
yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing because they're growing naturally, right? And you guys are very careful about, not using some of the pesticides as some of the big commercial growers do, right? Right.
Yeah.
So and they taste fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the sweetest strawberry that I've ever tasted as well. Okay, and then you also sell brown eggs.
Yeah, we do actually.
Okay, and those come from your guys' hen house?
Yeah,
From?
we're chickens.
Your chickens,
Yeah.
okay, fantastic. Okay, and those are unbelievably yummy, man.
Yeah, they taste so different compared to the ones in the store.
Right, they really do. They really do. So, you come here, and what other markets do you guys do besides here in downtown every Sunday?
We go to Long Beach, Pasadena. We go to San Diego. And I don't know what other ones we go to, but yeah.
Quite a few of them,
uh-huh.
yeah. And how long has Gayton Farms been in business? How long has it been a family business?
Like, so 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
10 years. That's great. That's great. Well, we appreciate having you here with all these yummy produce. And then the cool thing that we do at this market is the EBT market match. So how that works is basically somebody has food stamps. Basically what happens is they're able to get tokens to buy anything here in the market, okay? Fruits and vegetables, or even some of our hot food vendors, what have you. But also too, we match it. We give them this coupon, okay? And so we give them a match, and then they can spend that on fruits and vegetables. So do you get a lot of those coupons, those market match?
We get a lot.
Yeah. It's kind of a really cool program, right? So if somebody spends $10 and takes $10 off their EBT card, we're gonna match it with another 10. So that means they get like $20 in spending power. And they're not just it's not junk food, man. This is real
this
deal.
Is healthy, yeah.
Real healthy, real high quality. So it's really good. Well, really appreciate Lizette for you being here, and one of our stellar vendors. So you got to come down to the farmers market here, downtown between Spring and Broadway every Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And don't forget to check out Gayton Farms. Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming. Thank you. See, that was easy. Look at your pop-up.
All right, guys, we're back on, man. Got to read for you guys. We're back on the road to Weekend Pier. All right, where we at, man? All right, we're at Old Jack was an ex-miner aged 78 who had worked well off 50 years in the pits. He was alert and intelligent, but curiously enough, he seemed only to remember his boyhood experiences. Wait, I read this already. Hold up. Tripping. All right. I think we're on. Yeah. All right. We're good. All right. All right. They got the sack. No. All right. The newspaper conveyors were a type I never heard met before. The job seemed to me so hopeless. To all the following, I read that too. What? All right. They were employed mostly by weekly or Sunday papers, and they were sent from town to town, provided with maps and given lists of streets and which they had to work each day. If they failed to secure a minimum of 20 orders a day, they got the sack. So long as they kept their 20 hours a day, they received a small salary, £2 a week. I think on any order of the 20, they drew a tiny commission. The things is not so impossible as it sounds, because in working class districts, every family takes in a two penny weekly paper and changes it to every few weeks.
Be right back. Read.
Oh, dang it. What the heck? Oh, yeah. All right. But I doubt whether any keeps a job of what kind long. The newspaper engaged poor, desperate wretches, out-of-work clerks and commercial travelers and the like, who for a while make frantic efforts and keep themselves up to the minimum. Then as the daily work wears them down, they are sacked and fresh men there are taken on. I get to know two were employed by one of the more notorious weeklies. Both of them were middle-aged men with families to support, and one of them was a grandfather. Says they were on their feet 10 hours a day, working their appointment streets, and then business late into the night, filming in blank forms for some swindle. Their paper was running one of their schemes by which you are given a set of crockery if you take out a 6 weeks subscription, and send a 2 shilling posted order as well. The fat one the grandfather used to fall asleep, with his head on a pile of forms. Neither of them could afford the £1 a week which the brokers charged at full board. They used to pay a small sum for their beds and make shamefaced meals in the corner of the kitchen of bacon and bread and margarine, which they stored in suitcases.
In their suitcases. Okay, take a break right there. All right, that was excellent work. Get up, jump up there. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. Excellent work, man. Page 11. Let me jump in here for you. All right. Good job, Reese. Good job, Reese. Take a break. Go use the bathroom. You want to jump on in?
Yeah, well, let me update you. So we just had Gayton Farms here to talk about the stuff that they grow. Because, that's the key thing about a farmer's market. That, like I said, the growers here, they grow what they sell.
Right.
And we were just trying to figure out...
Now you got to start all over. You just had, because you didn't have that mic on.
Oh, okay.
Now go ahead.
No, I was saying that we just had, before you got here, we just had Gayton Farms here for an interview. Lizette of Gayton Farms. They come here every Sunday to the farmers market, and they also work at some of our other farmers markets on various days, but they sell what they grow. I mean, and we were just trying to figure out how those strawberries are so red and taste so sweet. But you know what the key thing is? Love, a lot of TLC, and because they don't put a lot of like the big commercial farmers, they use all that crazy pesticide stuff and everything. You know what I mean? And it's really, really awesome. But I mean, you name it. They got cauliflower, they got carrots. Okay, they got broccoli. All this stuff they grow. They have farms anywhere from Santa Barbara all the way to Riverside, to the Central Valley, down the San Diego area, and they just do a fantastic job. So it's great to have Lizette here and tell us about it. And here's the other thing too. that these vendors, okay, also are family-owned, family-run. So a lot of times the people that are sitting behind the table there that are selling you these wonderful, wonderful food products, okay, are actually the owners, the proprietor. Now, how often does that happen if you go into a grocery store like Ralph's or Vaughn's and you're dealing with an employee, but you're actually dealing with the owners. They know the products inside out. Then, prior to Gaten Farms, Vagabond Cheese was here and talked about the wide array of cheese. You name it, they have it. The hot selling cheese right now is Gouda, so come on by because they give tons of samples. As a matter of fact, they insist that you sample the various cheeses because look, if you're going to spend a decent amount of money on some really exotic good cheeses, what you want to do is just test it out before you get it home and make sure it suits your palate. And they love giving out free samples. So they were here too, James, while you
I had to have that appointment. I had to take that appointment. But it was a good appointment. I'll tell you about it when you get back, Bob. But you know what I need from you right now is I need a shade. Because the equipment is heating up.
Well, we'll have to figure some out. The tent.
Can't put it up real quick.
Can't put it up on the sidewalk, unfortunately. We'll figure something out, though. Okay.
Okay, great. Okay, that's awesome. Keep talking, Bob. I'm going to have to figure it out while you talk. You talk so it doesn't crash, okay? Go ahead. Keep talking.
No problem. So anyway, the other cool thing about the farmers market that we didn't get a chance to touch on is that being that it's affiliated with the Historic Core Business Improvement District, not only, like I said, it's the community market, but also, too, is that the people that are working and supporting this market, especially the people who do a wonderful job throughout the days and weeks and months, cleaning the streets, emptying trash cans in the community, also are here helping out at the farmers market. And I got to give a shout out to Chrysalis, who runs a wonderful program, a nonprofit, which is a social enterprise model where they really help people, get their life back on track. And they do fantastic work. And so it's great to have an affiliation with them and have them be a part of not only the market, but just overall the whole community. So, and then of course we have live music here. We have a different artist. We kind of rotate them. So we have several different people that come here and perform at the market. Right now we have Felix, and he's just playing a lot of tunes, man. A lot of familiar songs. Great guitar player. Got great vocals. And maybe we'll get him on a broadcast coming up here very, very soon. And so I want to point out that it's getting hot. It's warming up, just like you were alluding to, James. It's warming up. Hopefully the equipment will hang in there with us. Try to get some shade for it. But we have J&J Aqua Fresh juices. Okay, so fresh aqua frescas, as they call them, and those juices, and they have a whole variety of them. Okay, so this is a hot day. Get yourself an ice cold fruit juice, and it's fantastic. So I'm gonna try to get them here on the broadcast momentarily. So coming up, also too. Yeah, hear, right? I can hear fine. Yes, thank you very much. Also too, I want to give a shout out also to the Downtown Los Angeles Neighbor Council, which I'm a member of. We have a job fair coming up this Tuesday, April 10th, this Tuesday, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It'll be at San Julian Park. That's at the corner of San Julian 5th Street, right across from the James Wood Center. And I just want to tell you, it's going to be fantastic. There's going to be 40 different vendors there, so that's another community-oriented thing. So see, Farmers Market, that's one. We have this job fair coming up, and a lot of people here in the downtown community are doing a lot of big things to help their fellow brothers and sisters here in the community. So what I'm going to do here is see if I can go grab another vendor for you guys, so you can get highlight another feature of one of those vendors, and they should be coming up here momentarily. Okay, and it's really a delight to be doing this right live from the historic downtown farmers market, right here. Well, rough idea. Just a rough idea.
About like 6 or 5 months.
Okay, cool.
7, 6 or 5 months.
And how do you like it so far? How do you like working for Christmas?
No, I think it's 6.
6, okay. All right. Now, how do you like it so far?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can tell because you do a great job.
Yeah.
What do you think is special about this farmers market? What do you like about working on Sundays and about being a part of this farmers market?
Put this on. Him. Put this on. Do it right just like that. Put it on your head. You can hear yourself. Talk into the mic right here. Right here. Talk right there. All right. Closer. Talking to the mic right here. Put your mouth right here. Your mouth just goes right here. Closer. Right there.
All right. I can't think of anything right now, but I like
3 p.m. Say hi to our friend here and keep up the good work, man. Love having you here, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, bye.
Okay, so now my good friend and fellow council member,
Thanks, man.
All right.
Claudia Oliveira.
There you go. Put it right on.
How are you?
There you go. Perfect.
Hi, Robert. Good to see you.
Well, good to see you. You didn't expect to have a microphone in your face and some headphones on, did
I
you?
was not. I was coming to enjoy a beautiful day in downtown Los Angeles. Then I just ran into you in this great podcast.
Right. You know, this is perfect. It's just moments ago, I had mentioned about the job fair, and you've been working on this for several months.
This is very true.
Yes, and you've done a fantastic job. So since they heard it from me, this is a great segue because now you're here and you're the person. You're the person that with some of our other fellow downtown Los Angeles neighbor council members put this together.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us what's going on Tuesday, April 10th, in your own words?
So on Tuesday, April 10th, we have a massive job fair happening right in Skid Row at St. Julian Park. We have 40 vendors that are coming for not just jobs, but what people in Skid Row have asked for the most is training, because people come from all sorts of parts and all sorts of walks of life, and sometimes things that they used to be able to do before, they are no longer the same things that they can do today, and they're asking for training. We have culinary training, we have guards, we have a guard program, we have a code talk, which is about data. So many to mention. But what is so exciting is that everyone is breaking their comfort zone. The companies are breaking their comfort zone and hiring homeless, and they're very excited about that. And the homeless are breaking their comfort zone and not being afraid to feel like they deserve those jobs, and that they are, some of them are ready for that, and some of them want to be ready. So no matter what stage they are in getting ready for us to be in a job that they feel proud to be at, we have something for them. Whether they need identification cards, whether they want to practice interviewing, whether they want to practice writing resume, whether they want to get training or jobs, we have it at this job fair.
Wow, that's fantastic. And see, that's the key thing, is that, it's one thing about people seeking employment or offering them employment, but you're also offering some of the fundamental things that people need to acquire a job, okay? And the other thing that you really pointed out, and that's what the Downtown Los Angeles Neighborhood Council is about civic engagement. It's about, everybody in the community coming together and us helping each other, helping our fellow brothers and sisters in the community, make things happen. And so, in job fair, I'm going to ask her about her handwriting in just a moment. Because none of us around here have great penmanship. Now I know that you probably have great penmanship. So.
Well, I grew up writing cursive, so sometimes I'm not sure.
Okay.
My handwriting is quite creative, actually.
Well, that's really cool. So the job fair that we were just talking about is Tuesday. It's April 10th.
It's 11 to 3.
11 to 3. That's 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at San Julian Park. It's just corner of 5th and San Julian Street, right across from the James Wood Center, right across from the LA Mission, right down there in the heart of Skid Row. And this is not a one-off thing, right? We're planning to keep doing this.
The great thing about this is that while the job fair together, we built a platform. We partnership with the county, we partnership with the state, And we had Huizar's office also did a little bit of sponsorship. And we are getting all these three bodies to work together, possibly trying to build a platform that we can take this to other neighborhood councils, maybe Venice, maybe Boyle Heights. It's a platform, the list of people that are coming, and to be honest, I feel that next time we can double it. We can double the vendors and we can double the people and close the streets because we have had such a great response.
Well, thank you for all your work on this. Thank you for your teammates. You know, let's give a shout out to them. Of course, Wendell Blassingame, who's been on the neighborhood council longer than you have and longer than I have. I'm in my third term, so he's been doing it quite a while, over 10 years. And then, of course, obviously we have Mara, who's the VP of Outreach, and she helped out.
Betsy,
and Betsy Starman. And then we have a community member, Cecilia, or we call her CC. She really helped out, but you brought her in, which was a great move.
Cecilia Nahar is a good friend of mine and just happens to be so versatile in everything she does turns to be a success. And the moment that she said, gee, I want to be the production coordinator for this event, it was like a huge weight was lifted off of our shoulders because she's so great. She thinks of things that so creatively. She's a great problem solver and very resourceful. So this is definitely going to be a great success because of her help also.
Fantastic. Well, you know what, folks? So here you come to the farmers market every Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Come here, get some food, stock up, and then you got some munchies to take to the job fair on Tuesday, April 10th. You know, and like I said, we really appreciate it. And if volunteers, you still probably can use some more volunteers, right?
Yes, volunteers are always welcome. And also, I wanted to mention that this job fair, we put it together for the homeless, but I want to say that everyone is welcome. If you want to come, we have some great companies that I cannot mention them out loud, but it's a job fair that if I was looking for a job, I would go myself. So anybody is welcome from any part of LA or any part of anywhere, and anywhere. Everybody is welcome. So please come by and check it out.
Well, thank you so much for being here and popping into the farmers market. What are you going to buy for the farmers market now?
Oh, you know I always have to see the jewelry girl.
Oh.
you introduced me to her. And she's so every time I have to buy something.
Are you on a diet? Is that why you're
No, that's not true. I also go to the cheese.
Ah, there you go. we just have Vagabond cheese on here to talk about the variety of cheeses.
Oh my goodness!
And they love giving samples, right? So when you get your cheese fix, you come here and get a whole bunch of samples, and they have fantastic cheese, And then also too, we have of course the taco vendor, and they're not only selling carnitas tacos, but they're selling chicken and beef now.
Oh, that's good for me.
Asada and polo. So yeah, they got that going on too.
So maybe I'll go check that out now. Yeah. I was looking for a place to brunch, and maybe I just found it.
There you go. We got it here. Well, thanks for coming.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, my fellow council member, Claudia.
All right, everybody, have a great day.
I know. All right, well, there you go. See, we're talking about all the different things that are going on here in downtown. And what's really awesome is all the people that are involved. We're trying to make their community better, okay? Which is all about the city event is something that we're going to be doing the second.
Should I get it sideways or
on the second Saturdays of the month? Okay. Again, another opportunity for people to come together, volunteers and community alike.
I'll pretend like I'm saying something.
In our community that need help. Okay. You want to say something else?
I'm pretending I'm saying a photo.
Oh, okay. So we're doing a photo.
Is that okay?
Do we have to say cheese? Do you have to smile?
Cheese.
Okay. And then you got to smile with that camera. Well, where's the camera? Oh, it's underneath the piece of paper. Okay. We'll smile for the video, the YouTube camera later. But anyway.
Reese, who's taking the photo, looks like he's a natural photographer, so I'm sure these are going to be great.
That's right. So Reese, you're coming down to the job fair on Tuesday, April 10th, right at San Julian Park that the Downtown Los Angeles Neighbor Council is doing?
Yeah, I'll check it out.
All right, cool. There you go. Well, anyway, folks, so we're going to go. I'm going to go grab another vendor. I'm going to turn it over to my man Jim here, and he's going to hold down the fort, okay? And then we're going to go get you another
Ready,
vendor
Bob.
to interview. Okay.
She's gonna jump in there.
All right.
Yeah, she's gonna jump in there real quick. Yeah. Is that good, Claudia? You're okay, right? Yeah, she doesn't mind.
It's the reason why I walked in here, right?
Heck yeah. Bob's like, no. That's like, yes,
Come on,
Bob.
let's
Yes. Yes. Claudia, here we go. I'll show you how you get interviewed. Okay? That's what I'm saying. All right. All right. Claudia, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. It sounded wonderful what you guys were doing right there. You were giving a lot of info about the job fair. That's correct, right?
Yes, I'm very excited. I've been working on this job fair since December 7th. And I've
December
been
7th, Pearl Harbor Day.
So since Pearl Harbor Day, which is it was the date that the city had my first job fair I attended was the cities in City Hall.
Right.
That was the date of it, and I had no idea how I was going to pull this job fair together. I had not one vendor, and now I have 40, and it all started at the job fair in City Hall, December
That's
7th.
awesome. So you have 40 vendors that come and they say, look, we need people to work.
We have a variety. We have, I would say, we have 60% of job people that are ready to hire, job providers. We have
Ready to hire, really?
yeah.
So you have 40 vendors that are people that need 60% of them. That's what 60% is 24 or 20. What is 60% of 40?
That's a good question.
24. That would be the 60% of.
So yeah, we have
No, that's not right.
the job providers. One that I don't want to mention the name is coming in to give 8 jobs at $16 an hour, full time with full benefits.
Wow, that's an amazing amount of money considering that Reese only gets paid $11 and 12 cents to be my IHSS care provider.
Well, maybe
You should hook him up. He only works for me 16 hours a week.
I would not mind putting in my recommendation.
Claudia, you are awesome. That is awesome. And so is that your full-time job working with the job fair?
No, actually, as I'm an elected official for the Downtown Los Angeles Neighborhood Council.
That's right. You're an elected official, correct?
My title is I'm the Historic Core Resident Director. And believe it or not.
So you're in charge of this?
No, this is the Historic Core bid. That's the Business Improvement District.
Okay, business improvement. So say you're in charge of.
Because I live in Historic Core, my title is I'm the representative of the residents in Historic Core. So this is the area that this fair is the market. The farmers market is the Historic Core farmers market. So everything that goes.
I needed this.
Everything that has. That happens in Historic Core is we start with Historic Core. So
let me ask you a question. Is 738 South Los Angeles Street part of the Historic Core? Do you know?
It depends.
Depends.
It is part of my jurisdiction because the Neighborhood Council, LAPD, and the bids all have different divisions.
Okay.
So my division, I go all the way to Olive in order to include Pershing Square and down to 7th. Parts of my district goes all the way to Olympic. But if you look at the actual city historic core, that will not be Los Angeles will not be historic core. Historic core stops at Main.
Are you familiar with Diego Cardoza?
Can I tell you that this is my handicap? I am horrible with names.
Okay. Well, the reason I mentioned is I just wanted to let everyone know, anyone that's listening, and if we've lost the video feed, better luck next week. But so I've tried to figure it out. I'm not sure if it's working or not, but I do know we have audio. But Diego Cardoza is an artist, and he's located at 738 South Los Angeles Street in the Santee Courtyard. Are you familiar with the Santee Courtyard?
Of course.
And I think that is part of your...
That is part of my personal district.
Yeah, exactly. And I just wanted to say he has some amazing artwork. If you need some art, if you need to have your house decorated, how do you feel about art?
Well, I actually went to school for oil painting. So
you did?
I did, and most
So
of
your genre is oil painting out the butt then?
that is what I went to school for.
I didn't
but
say that exactly right. I apologize.
what I have in my house, I'm a big fan of lithographs and serigraphs. So I'm.
Is that sort of like Andy Warhol did?
I like.
What's a lithograph?
A lithograph is a style of printing, or a serigraph also. There's etching is another style, and it just means if you're etching on asphalt in a metal plate, and then you pour acid on it, and then you take the asphalt away, and then you have a plate that's been etched on. If you're doing a lithograph,
So there was a plate involved there.
right?
Okay.
And there's a press.
Gotcha.
So a
Warhol
serigraph is
style.
a
Yeah.
right, but I think I'm not quite sure what were all the methods that he used. But I'm a big fan of mid-century lithographs, so anything that's later Picasso or like Miro, of even Marc Chagall, I really like.
Okay.
So I'm more like
A cubist? Is that a cubist? A cubism? Is that Dadaism?
The later, like in the 60s, Picasso did a lot of these things that look like scribbles.
Right.
They're not as precise as the cubism. And I prefer he's more of the freehand Picasso than anything else.
Claudia, we're going to interrupt the interview I'm having with you, and it's great about, and we were talking about her area in the historic quarter, and we're going to have a vendor come in and do, and I think Bob wanted to take you on a little tour right now anyway, correct? So, Claudia, you have been just a wonder. Go ahead, if you wanted to finish up, say anything.
I think that I heard that Robert said he's buying me lunch.
That is correct. Bob is buying you lunch. He is. He is.
So I'm going to take
What's great
advantage
about
of
that is I get a very good discount.
He gets an amazing discount
So I'm
here.
such a big spender.
and I'm a very expensive date, I guess.
Okay, well, you heard that here first. Claudia is a very expensive date, and thank you again, Claudia. And
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. And right now, and Bob, can you tell me who's coming on right now?
Veronica Candle.
Veronica of Veronica Candles is coming on right now.
Show this right here. Here we go. See, there's the product. There we go.
Claudia, thank you so
Claudia,
much.
here, have a seat.
I want to continue that conversation. I really do.
Let me leave
You
you
want
my
to have a
card.
seat, Veronica?
Thank you.
No, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Veronica. How are you?
Oh, good. How are you?
You're doing great. You want to just put this on? Left is left, right? Yeah, you got it. You got it. All right. I almost was located next to your stall today.
I know. Yeah.
It just didn't quite work out that way. It didn't work out that way. How's business today going at the farmers market?
Oh, it's good. It's a really nice day, and people are coming out, so can't complain.
I like your outfit. You have it's a nice, colorful outfit. What color is that? Is that because I have my sunglasses on? Is that pink?
Yeah, it's pink.
Okay, all right. I wanted to make sure that it was pink. It matches your lipstick. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to. Sometimes I have these sunglasses make the chromatic a little different.
Different, yeah.
A little different. So, how long have you been coming to the? See this. This is how messed up I am. I have to have this is my cheat sheet. Downtown Historic Farmers Market.
About 3 years, 4 years. Yeah, like 4 years now, I guess. Yeah.
That's great. 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay, and these are soy candles. Veronica candles are made from soy.
Yeah, they're 100% soy, and then the one you're holding, they're made only essential oils are used for the fragrances. So it's a pretty all natural. You gotta open it.
I can smell it. It's a. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
And this one is which one?
That one is Valentine. So it's like
Oh my
rose,
goodness.
eucalyptus, little lemon.
This smells wonderful.
Thank you.
And you
Yes.
made this all by hand.
Yeah, I make them all. Mm-hmm.
And is your shop? Would it be called a shop? A candle shop, right? Is your shop downtown in downtown LA? Or?
Yeah, pretty much. I just sell them at this farmer's market and some others here and there, but mostly.
I mean, like
here.
where you make them, is it?
Oh no, I make them at my house.
Which is what part of town?
Oh, well, right now it's in Fontana, but I started this in downtown LA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's around the corner. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you originally were making them just around the corner?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And was it because of cost that you decided to move, or was it?
Yeah, just bigger place. You know, like
bigger place. Yeah.
You know, getting a little tiny apartment. And,
how far away was Fontana?
It's about an hour east of LA. Yeah.
An hour east of LA. So, just out of curiosity, and I hope you don't mind me asking this, is we are doing a lot of this. The podcasting has to do with Key to the City. Are you familiar with the new not-for-profit that Bob has started? Are you familiar yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Key to the City is a hand up, not a handout, to try and actually do something for once about the homeless problem here.
Mm-hmm.
And so what was your rent when you were here in downtown?
Well, we lived here for 3 years, my boyfriend and I, and it started at 17, and then by the time we decided to move out, it was going to go up to about 2,000, and we decided
what kind of a place was that?
It was a loft, so it was just like a one-room loft.
One big room?
One big room, yeah.
Do you know the square footage roughly? Or?
Oh, it was around like 700 square feet. Yeah, and so when it was going to go up beyond 2,000, we were like, okay,
that's not very much
that's
at
enough.
all, right? That's like 10 feet by 70 feet. That's not very big.
But it seemed pretty big
But
because the
going
ceilings
up,
are big. Yeah.
Okay,
so.
fair enough. 1,700 and up to 2,000. That seems like quite a bit.
It was. So it was just and plus the parking and living downtown LA, like it's nice, but.
It's nice, but what's the but? Let's hear. What would you describe as
the driving? A lot of going to the supermarket was too much of an ordeal.
I hate the bums myself.
Well, it's
I hate it smelling like urine a lot.
Yeah, or even like people walking the dogs. Like that dog park up there. So.
Oh, okay. I have a dog, so
yeah.
I
no offense, I love dogs.
Well, would they not clean up their mess, or was the noise, or?
I think it's just because it's too much cement and not enough ground to like absorb everything.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
it did. The dog
not
park
enough water
did.
to wash everything. That sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like if it only rains for like 5 minutes, you're hating it because it activates all the urine stains.
Right, but if
it rains for like over 10 minutes, just like, oh my god, it smells so nice.
Yeah.
I loved the rain last month. It was great.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It was so Fontana. What's your rent there, and what's your square footage?
Oh well, we have a house out there.
A whole house to yourself with a yard and everything.
Yes. So it was kind of spatial wise, it's an upgrade. So.
And what's the rent? Did you buy it? A mortgage?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind, what's the monthly mortgage on that?
Oh, like 16.
So there you go. So $100 less than they were paying before, and it was going to go up $300. And now, instead of living in a loft in downtown, about 700 square foot, you have a whole house to yourself.
Yeah.
How many rooms? Two bedrooms?
Three.
3-bedroom house, 1 bath, two?
Yeah,
one bath,
two.
2 bathrooms, okay? And listen, as a guy, I have to say, if you have a lady, you need to have her own bathroom.
That's true.
I'm just saying, being true and honest, okay? And if anybody out there is butthurt about that, any of the postmodernists or anybody that gets upset about stuff that realists say, I don't care, because that's the truth. And Veronica agreed with me. Veronica, by the way, are you at all familiar with Jordan B. Peterson and his 12 Rules for Life? I just got this next door at the last bookstore last night, and this is going to be on YouTube. And when you're on YouTube, you might only be listening to yourself. There's a warning, okay? The camera might have messed up, but I will get you on next week.
No, it's okay.
With your candles.
I'm not really a camera person.
Oh,
so
yes, you're fine. You're
no.
great. But what I'm saying, you can definitely listen to it. It'll be there. It'll be up. And when you do, you can stop by and look at a Jordan B. Peterson and maybe the 12 Rules for Life. It's really an advantageous way for people to improve their lives. And, it's been helping me since last August. How long ago did you guys move into your house?
About a year ago.
About a year?
Yeah.
Are you planning on having kids? You got 3 bedrooms now. And a mortgage.
Who knows? So.
Was that too much? I'm sorry, Veronica. I did make you laugh, but it was not a
Who
belly
knows?
laugh. It was more of an uncomfortable.
Put me on the spot here.
Well, my friends, they just got pregnant. They're at
Yeah.
35 weeks,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was 36 weeks now. So 4 more weeks, and she should pop. And the thing is like just like in 2000. Let's see, just in 2015. So less than 3 years ago, they were both telling me how they would never have kids. And they didn't want kids. She didn't want kids, and I was like, in my head, I was like, yeah, you're gonna want kids soon, and she did. And so, if you're wanting kids in your head, it's gonna happen.
No.
And if you don't
Who
want
knows?
kids, it's okay.
Yeah.
There's lots of room for not having kids here in the United States, and there's lots of room for having kids. Whatever it is, it's sort of like the farmers market here, where we're here at the downtown historic farmers market in downtown LA. We try and bring a wide variety of vendors, and we have here again checking in with us Veronica with Veronica's Candles. And Veronica, do you have a phone number for people to call and order?
I don't have a phone number for it, but I do have a
Veronica is
website.
old school. She does not have a phone. I love it.
Yeah.
What is the name of your website?
So it's actually Verona Candles. So it's veronacandles.com.
And can you
so-
can you spell it out for everybody out there that's a real idiot?
So it's VERONICANDLES.com. And so there's like an Instagram, Facebook, and we have all the little social media too. But veronacandles.com, and you can buy them on the website or even just come down here and buy them in person.
Oh, that's great. If anybody mentions the website, if anybody mentions the podcast, do they get a discount?
Yeah, I'll give you a couple bucks off. Yeah.
Okay, what percentage discount?
Oh, I guess let's do 20%. We'll say 20%.
Oh my gosh, I was miming 5%, 5%. She said 20. 4 times what I was offering you guys, what I was telling her to do, she did 4 times. That's how much. Veronica Candles is the one to buy your candles from. Thank you very much, Veronica. And Bob's right here. We're gonna have him jump in. Thank you very much. And we will have you back next week. You'll be here next week, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
All right,
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
And we got Bob Newman coming back
Thank
after
you,
after he presses the flesh some, as he does so well. Bob Newman, hey, here we go. All righty, guess what, Bob? The sun is beating my butt. I had to put my hat on, and my equipment was like, oh, I don't know.
Well, it's hanging in there, though. It's doing great.
Well, we lost the video feed for some reason. It might have been a heat incident, but it's okay. We'll figure it out.
I'm an audio kind of guy.
I know, and I'm an audio kind of guy too. Did Claudia and Veronica? Do you think they both had fun being interviewed here and having?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's just a fun thing, and we have to do this more often because you know what? We got some more people in the communities too. So, but I'm going to go find us another vendor here shortly because they have
can you
very.
find us? So we had the candles. So we had the candles. Can you bring us a food vendor so we can talk about food?
Well, we actually did while you're.
Oh, you did a food vendor already. I'm sorry. Okay.
but
I
we
mean,
had-
like a hot food, like a serving
Right.
food, or just was it?
Yes, but we have a very tight window because they have to man their booths. So let me go get something.
Yes,
Okay.
grab them, Bob. Okay, Bob Newman is going to go and he's going to grab us someone to do another interview with. And while that's going on, I am going to continue with the road to Wigan Pier, page 11, the bottom of page 11. The Brookers had large numbers of sons and daughters, most of whom had long since fled from home. Some were in Canada, at Canada, as Mrs. Booker used to put it. There was only one son living nearby, a large, pig-like young man employed in a garage, who frequently came to the house for his meals. His wife was there all day with 2 children, and most of the cooking and laundering was done by her and by Emmy, the fiancée of another son who was in London. Emmy was a fair-haired, sharp-nosed, unhappy-looking girl who worked at one of the mills for some starvation wage, but nevertheless spent all her evenings in bondage at the Brookers' house. I gathered that the marriage was constantly being postponed and would probably never take place, but Mrs. Booker had already appropriated Emmy as a daughter-in-law and nagged her in that peculiar, watchful, loving way that invalids have. The rest of the housework was done or not done by Mr. Brooker. Mrs. Brooker seldom rose from her sofa in the kitchen. She spent the night there as well as the day, and was too ill to do anything except eat stupendous meals. It was Mr. Brooker who attended to the shop, gave the lodgers their food, and did out the bedrooms. He was always moving with incredible slowness from one hated job to another. Often the beds were still unmade at 6 in the evening, and at any hour of the day you were liable to meet Mr. Brooker on the stairs, carrying a full chamber pot which he gripped with his thumb well over the rim. In the mornings he sat by the fire with a tub of filthy water, peeling potatoes at the speed of a slow-motion picture. I never saw anyone who could peel potatoes with quite such an air of brooding resentment. You could see the hatred of this bloody woman's work, as he called it, fermenting inside him, a kind of bitter juice. He was one of those people who can chew their grievances like a cud. Of course, I was indoors a good deal. I heard all about the Brookers' woes and how everyone swindled them and was ungrateful to them, and how the shop did not pay and the lodging house hardly paid. By local standards, they were not so badly off, for, in some way, I did not understand, Mr. Brooker was dodging the means test and drawing an allowance from the pack. But their chief pleasure was talking about their grievances to anyone who would listen. Mrs. Brooker used to lament by the hour, lying on her sofa, a soft mound of fat and self-pity, saying the same things over and over again. We don't seem to get no customers nowadays. I don't know how it is. The tripe's just laying there day after day. Such beautiful tripe it is, too. It does seem odd now. It does seem odd, don't it now, etc., etc., etc. All Mrs. Brooker's laments ended with, it does seem odd now, don't it now, like the refrain of a ballad. Certainly it was true that the shop did not pay. The whole place had the unmistakable, dusty, fly-blown air of a business that is going down. But it would have been quite useless to explain to them why nobody came to the shop, even if no one had the face to do it. Neither was capable of understanding that last year's dead blue bottles supine in the shop window are not good for trade. But the thing that really tormented them was the thought of those two old-age pensioners living in their house, usurping floor space, devouring food, and paying only 10 shillings a week. I doubt whether they were really losing money over the old-age pensioners, though certainly the profit on 10 shillings a week must have been very small. But in their eyes, the two old men were a kind of dreadful parasite who had fastened on them and were living on their charity. Old Jack they could just tolerate because he kept out of doors most of the day. But they really hated the bedridden one, Hooker by name. Mr. Brooker had a queer way of pronouncing his name without the H and with a long U, Euchre. What tales I heard about old Hooker and his fractiousness, this nuisance of making his bed, the way he wouldn't eat this and wouldn't eat that, his endless ingratitude, and, above all, the selfish obstinacy with which he refused to die. The Brookers were quite openly pining for him to die. When that happened, they could at least draw the insurance money. They seemed to feel him there, eating their substance day after day, as though he had been a living worm in their bowels. Sometimes Mr. Brooker would look up from his potato peeling, catch my eye, and jerk his head with a look of inexpressible bitterness toward the ceiling, towards old Hooker's room. It's a bitch, ain't it? He would say. There was no need to say more. I had heard all about old Hooker's ways already. But the Brookers had grievances of one kind and another against all their lodgers, myself included, no doubt. Joe, being on the pack, was practically in the same category as the old-age pensioners. And we're going to pause right there. We have Bob back. Woo! What's going on, Bob?
All right, James. Hey, you know what? We're going to bring in another vendor, and then that'll do it for the vendors till the next time. You know, we don't want to show them all. We want to.
I agree. You want to keep people. You want to keep people. Anticipatory, right?
But the best thing, this is
cliffhangers.
This is a great broadcast, but we want people to come and actually show them creative market. And matter of fact, maybe they can even be on the broadcast themselves after they sample it.
Well, absolutely. I mean, they already got, hey, how's it going, Handsome Devil? Oh, Handsome Devil is the one that's coming. We got Handsome Devil is coming to be the next guest on the Downtown Historic Farmers Market podcast, brought to you by Obstreperous Eccentric in association with Key to the City. All right, and Feel Better Funnies. All right, here we go, Handsome Devil. That's the shirt he's wearing. What's your name, Handsome Devil?
I'm Johnny Silva.
Johnny Silva?
Yep.
Is that S-I or S-Y?
S-I-L-V-A.
My dad was born and raised in Silva, North Carolina.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
not quite as far as Spain.
Not quite as hard as Spain.
But yeah, we have it.
So you're from Spain?
My parents-
Espanol.
Yes, parents are.
So you're from here, LA?
Redondo Beach, yeah.
Redondo Beach. You guys must have been loaded to live on the beach.
Well, I guess they did all right. So, at any rate, we're based out of Redondo Beach.
So you're currently still based out of there?
We are. That is.
So you got some salsas in front of me, right?
That is correct. So
Is one of these for me?
They are both for you, actually.
They're both for me. Well, this one I will have someone else taste because I have. But this one, I have in front of me two salsas. The first one is Pussy Willow, and that fits in so well because I am a big pussy. Okay, and it's extremely mild salsa, and I'm so excited to have that because of my stomach issues. And then we also have over here we have Dragon Waiter, Dragon Water. Well, okay, that means, since dragons piss fire, I'm assuming that it must be, it says it's extremely hot, so the other end of the spectrum. So let's hear a little bit about both of the salsas.
So basically, the line in general was started out as basically just being a hot salsa line. And then ultimately we came up with the Pussy Willow for the fact that there's a
lot of people like me in the world. Old people with bad stomachs.
Yeah. But at any rate, like I said, it started off as a hot salsa line. We wanted to make a salsa, to bring a salsa to the market that wasn't just like a pico de gallo. Like when you go to the markets, a lot of times you'll go and you'll see almost every salsa there is just basically like a pico de gallo kind of thing.
What exactly is a pico de gallo? What did you say, a pico de gallo?
Yeah, like tomato and onion, like
real basic, in other words.
Yeah, like no flavor, and nothing that makes it unique or eclectic in any way. So what we wanted to do.
Well, I'm so glad you didn't do that.
Yeah, was bring salsa profiles that people hadn't really tasted before, but also a level of heat that's actually something that for spicy people is actually hot. So we came up with three formulas that we thought were pretty diverse between each other, and those are our initial offerings.
So what's the middle one called? You brought two. There's a middle one.
Well,
what's it called?
Well, the other one is also a hot salsa. It's called Tiger's Blood. So
is it as hot or what?
Yeah, they're pretty comparable in heat. They're different flavor profiles basically. The Tiger's Blood is like a traditional salsa: cilantro, onions, tomatoes, peppers.
Is there cilantro in these?
Yes, there's cilantro in all of them.
Okay.
And then the Tiger's Blood is more like has a bit of an Indian influence to it. It has a garam masala and a curry powder in it, so definitely gives it an Indian flavor. So,
yeah, it's an Indian flavor, you said.
Right. So they're, like I said, they're both habanero serrano based. So heat-wise, they're pretty comparable. They're just different flavor profiles.
And how long have you been doing the downtown historic farmers market in downtown LA at Spring and Fifth?
We're fairly new. We're fairly new altogether. We started the company last year, and we're
Congratulations on a new company. I like to hear that.
There we have it. That's right. And market's about the same. We've been doing it for a few months now, so we're still getting our feet. Trying to get into co-ops, things like Sprouts, Whole Foods, that type of thing.
Are you growing the vegetables that go in the salsa?
We actually there's a company called Hayden's that we source all our product out from now. So they gather all our produce for us because we just can't.
Are they organic or not? Or?
They're not organic. It's all natural. They're all vegan. All the salsas are vegan, so we don't.
Oh, really? These are vegan salsas?
Yes, absolutely. So we don't.
Are you a vegan?
I'm a vegetarian.
Can you explain to everyone that doesn't know what's the difference between a vegan and a vegetarian, real quick?
For me as a vegetarian, I'll eat dairy where vegans won't eat dairy.
So you'll eat cheese?
Right.
Ice cream and such?
Correct. So
See, the good stuff. The good stuff. I've given up milk myself, and I only use coconut milk.
Okay.
But I do have I do love a good cheese. I like a white cheddar. And I like sticky cheeses as well.
Right.
Yeah. So you had the 3 salsas, and then said you were expanding into sprouts. Is that what you said?
No, we're looking into getting into the markets. We're trying to. We sent them out so we'll see what happens. So we haven't heard back from anyone yet. So we haven't officially got a wave in by any means. So.
Well, I mean, I'm very excited to try. Bob just stepped in. Bob, just so you know, this is an extremely hot salsa. It's called Dragon Water, all right? And I will not be trying this. But this is called Pussy Willow, and it is an extremely mild salsa, and I'm going to be eating the bunches out of it. I know I am. And I'll let you guys know next week when I come back exactly what my impression was of the Pussy Willow, and I will see if I was able to make anyone cry with the Dragon Water. Because what I plan on doing, Bob, is I'm going to give them the Pussy Willow first and be like, do you think this one is? Because I have something that's even milder if you think this, and then I'm going to give them the Dragon Water and watch what happens. It's going to be so fun. I've got 2 big belly laughs. I love belly laughs. So can you one more time give us your name?
Johnny Silva.
Johnny Silva. It sounds like a rock star, bro. You sound like a rock star. Like you should have a guitar. Like you do have a guitar strapped around your back right now. And the name of the company, Johnny, is?
It's Handsome Devil Salsa.
That's right. Handsome Devil Salsa, and it's brought to you by a Handsome Devil. Do you have other partners, Johnny?
I am the sole creator.
Sole provider. There's only one Handsome Devil, and that's Johnny Silva, ladies and gentlemen, bringing you the salsa of all salsas. And thank you, Johnny, for coming on and talking about your salsa and bringing me these samples. I'm going to let you know what I think of them, and I'm going to make sure everyone knows so that they'll get a hold of you. Do you have a phone number or a website?
Yes, actually, we have a website. It's up now. It's very easy. It's www.handsomedevilsalsa.com. So www.handsomedevilsalsa.com, people. Okay, if you want that Handsome Devil salsa, that's where you're going to get it. That's where you're going to get it. Or you can always come down on Sunday to the downtown historic farmers market, and you can meet the Handsome Devil in person. Absolutely. And also, back to the website real quickly. All the info is on there as well. So any contact info, ordering, that sort of thing, all our information will be on there.
Johnny, thank you so much for the time and the effort and appearing on the podcast. And we're going to hand it back over to Bob. Yeah. He's right here. He's going to jump in.
Yeah, thanks again.
Thank you very much, Johnny. And that was Johnny Silva. He's got the Handsome Devil Salsa Company, and he's a regular here at the downtown historic farmers market. Great job, Johnny. Thank you very much. And I just wanted to take a moment before we get Bob back in here to let you know about the Bronzed Aussie, and that's right here, downtown LA, in Claudia's wonderful district. Bob, is that your district too, or no? That's
technically, the seats are divided up by residence and business, but mine's a little different because mine seat covers area wide, so to speak. It's not
covers the whole area.
Right, but it's a social service representation seat, but it's an area-wide seat. It's not just district-specific or category-specific like resident or business. But the Bronzed Aussie is really, really good.
So you've eaten there, the Bronzed Aussie. Yeah, it's located right there in the Santee Court, and if you talk to Samantha, that's the owner. And she makes a wonderful meat pie, if you like a meat pie. But she also has desserts and all kinds of stuff. It's great for lunch. I recently, she started me off with just a ground beef pie. It was amazing. How was that ground beef pie, Reese?
Yeah.
Reese says it was scrumptious. Okay, I'll make sure to have him mic'd up next week. And I hope you guys have been enjoying us reading.
More than 2 mics.
I have 2 more, but so.
But you know Australia, this is one of the specialties of Australia.
Yeah, well, they came from England, meat pies, yeah.
So,
714A South Los Angeles Street, and her phone number is 213-243-0770. And you know what? She's such a hard worker. She's open 7 days a week. What was your experience there with the meat pies?
Awesome. mean, they're fantastic. And I've been to Australia several times, and it's mostly...
You've been to Australia?
I have. And it's
Let me ask you real quick. Does the toilets really flush backwards?
Well, well, that's a good thing now because it's a duo. It's like a bidet too. So you know what I mean. So you let it out and then you wash it anyway. We're getting a little raunchy here. I like to get back. It's kind of funny to talk about stuff like that in food. It's probably not a good promotion for the bar, but thank you for mentioning it, bringing that up.
Well, I like anti-Padians. What can I say?
But anyway, no, it's a good product. It really is, and that's the whole thing about downtown. I mean, those people have known about downtown, coming to downtown. And, for a while, it's like a ghost town. After 5 o'clock, the office,
buildings emptied out. It was like a ghost town. I mean, you wouldn't want to be caught dead down here. Now, 10 years later, and we're up to 60,000 residents. We got nothing every month. There are new bars, new restaurants opening up. Tons of new apartment buildings and living units that come online. So downtown is booming, man.
Yeah, it is really booming. And Bob, just so you know, this podcast has been another shambles brought to you by the Obstreperous Eccentric. And next time we got to remember to have the heat cover. We got to have the shade. That's about the only thing that threw off the second part of it. Okay, I know. And I know Reese was crushing with the wig and pier, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, he sure was.
He was, and
some impersonations too are pretty nice.
He was doing some good impersonations of me. Oh, excellent! I'm glad to hear. So Bob, what is
Oakland style?
What? So what's coming up? We have something coming up in July for Key to the City. Isn't that correct?
Well, we got something coming up this month.
Oh, that's right. This Saturday, right?
Next Saturday. Yeah, next Saturday.
That's this Saturday. That's 6 days from now.
April 14th.
Last Saturday is yesterday, Bob. Let's stay with it, okay?
Well, my calendar is, how busy I am. But anyway, my mind is mumble jumbled. Anyway, April 14th.
April 14th.
And
it's called.
And it's called Key to the City, Second Saturdays. We do it every second Saturday.
It's called Second Saturday Volume 2.
That's
because
right.
It's the second one, right?
And you need to check out the website, www.keytothecityla.org.
If you have any kind of message you want to send me or to Bob, you can send it to me at james.brookhyser, BROOKHYSER, at keytothecityla.org, or robert.newman at keytothecityla.org. Is that correct?
Got it right.
I got them both right? Oh my goodness, I am on fire. Literally, I'm burning right now. There's a magnifying glass.
It's only 70-some degrees out.
Yeah. The sun is kicking my butt, Bob. Okay, I am okay. I'm okay. I'm all right. You know what, Bob?
Great broadcast.
You know what I had to do yesterday? You know what I had to do yesterday? Oh, thank you, Bob. You know what I had to do yesterday, Bob?
What'd you have to do?
Well, I had to go, doctor's orders. I have a vitamin D deficiency.
Right.
And I recently got hit by a bus. And you know that vitamin D is essential for your body to heal itself? And I actually had someone to have the audacity to tell me to put my shirt on. And I've recently lost over 90 pounds since moving to LA.
Yeah,
recently 60
looking
pounds.
Looking pretty good.
And this is what this guy
said. You should go to the gym, but
and I told him, and I told the guy, I said, stop sexually harassing me. It went over. A lot of people laughed. It had a good laugh. I love belly laughs.
No, I want to.
Put on your suit. Put on your shirt. No, I was like, oh. So, Bob, next week, is there anything is it the same? What's the name of the musician?
Felix, the one that's here today. I don't know who the musician is next. So my co-manager does a great job of doing the bookings. But remember, there is live entertainment here.
We have live-tainment. We have live-tainment.
Yeah, we need to do live-tainment here.
Next thing we're gonna have is entertainment, but not right now. It's live-tainment.
See, when you start slurring your words, that means it's a rap.
It means it's a little hotter than you thought it was.
And no alcohol involved either. That's it.
It's the sun, and you have no hat on, Bob, and your head is.
My head is red as
crispy.
Glowing.
It's getting crispy.
I'm like in the.
You should get in the shade, actually, Bob. You really, or get a hat on, one or the other.
Yeah, you're right.
And Bob, can you give us a?
I used the book.
Ah, there you go. Can you give us a? Since you got the fancy, is that what is that? Fitbit watch?
It's a Fitbit. Yes. You want to know how many steps I have right now?
Yeah, let's hear.
Okay, let me tell you. First of all, I average about 23,000 a day.
Can you make that happen with a? Can you make that happen so that it will keep track of my bicycling?
You could, yes. It's.
Oh my goodness!
I am.
devil. Thank you, handsome devil.
Which one is that?
He brought the third for me to have someone sample. It's also extremely hot. It's called Tiger's Blood, everyone. Tiger's Blood.
Okay, have fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw over 16,000 steps, by the way. So
Today.
yeah.
And what time is it right now, Bob?
What time is it right now? Well, it's time to wrap up the broadcast from my end. I got to get back to work.
Yeah, what time?
But it's 1:15.
1:15.
p.m.
Okay,
Pacific
excellent.
Standard Time.
1:15 p.m. Pacific
We should
Standard
interview
Time.
that dog that just walked by.
We should interview the dog. I might start street interviews soon. Anyway, what we're going to do now, Bob is going to get busy.
I'm gonna get back to work, but I want your sidekick to come in.
Yeah, he's going to come in.
Thanks everybody for hanging in there, and check out the farmers market. You're gonna love it.
Downtown Historic Farmers Market. Thanks a lot, Bob Newman. Thank you so much. All right, we got Reese coming back on. Hey, go Reese. Get your headphones on. Get your headphones on.
Back on Earth.
Scoot up on closer. Scoot up closer.
Good,
there you
good.
go. All right.
Check.
Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Okay, Reese.
Yeah.
Reese, you recently had a good time. Anyway, I won't go into that. Anyway, but the next time that you, Reese, or anyone else needs to have someone take a date, and you want to do something a little different, take them to brunch. And when I say brunch, I mean brunch. The name of the restaurant is Brunch. It's located at Santee Court, 718 South Los Angeles Street. And it is available, and the name of the person you want to talk to is Mike. I can tell you they have a wonderful selection. What he wants you to do is to give him a call, 213-265-7731, and he will send you a picture of the daily menu, because it changes daily.
Daily? Whoa.
Whoa, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. Like, nobody wants the same food every day. Well, you don't have to have the same food every day.
Different.
You can have different food on different days. Just go to brunch at Santee Court, 718 South Los Angeles Street, Suite A, Los Angeles, California, 90014. Again, the phone number is 213-265-7731. And is that a Snapchat logo, or what is that? Instagram? What is that logo?
Yeah, Instagram right
okay,
there.
Instagram at brunch DTLA. Again, that's Instagram at brunch DTLA. That's all one word. BRUNCHDTLA. All one word. And that's Mike at brunch. We're having fun doing our shout outs. I got another shout out. I want to give a shout out to Timothy Stewart. He's in West Virginia. If you're able to hear this. Yeah, buddy. I hope to see you soon, man. I really do. I hope everything goes well for you next month, and I hope to see you soon. All right. And so you want to read a little bit more of Wig and Pier for us there, Reese?
No, sure.
I took a little. I'll show you where I stopped, and then you can take over. I need to use the facilities, the facilities. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you want to start right there with the Scotsman. The Scotsman. Okay.
Right.
And are you ready, Reese, to take over? Here's Reese continuing with the Road to Wigan Pier, page
14.
14. Here you go. Halfway down. There you go. Take it away, Reese.
Right here, look. Alright. The Scotchman paid £1 a week, but he was indoors most of the day, and they didn't like him always hanging around the place. As they put it, the newspaper conveyances were all out today, but the burgers bore them a grudge for bringing in their own food. And Mr. Riley, their best lodger, was in disgrace because Mrs. Brooker said that he woke her up and he came downstairs in the morning. They complained perpetually. Yeah.
What?
Perpetually.
Perpetually. Good job.
Yeah. Heck, all right. The kind of lodgers they wanted, good class. Commercial gentlemen who paid full board were all day. Their ideal lodger would have been somebody who paid 30 shillings a week, never came indoors except to sleep. I have noticed that People who lodgings nearly always hate their lodgers. Says they want their money, but they look on them as intruders and have a curiously watchful, jealous attitude. With a bottom is a determination not to let the lodger make himself too much at home. It is an inevitable result of the bad system by which the lodger has to live in somebody else's house without being one of the family. The meals of the Brooker house unfortunately disgusting. For breakfast, he got 2 rashers of bacon and a pill-fried egg.
Oh, the ones that follow.
And bread and butter, which had often been cut overnight and always had thumb marks on it. However, tactfully, I tried. I could never induce Mr. Brooker to let me cut my own bread and butter. He would to me slice by slice, and each slice gripped firmly under the broad bank thumb. For dinner, there were generally those 3-penny steak puddings which are sold ready-made in tins. These were part of the stocks of the shop. I think in boiled potatoes and rice pudding. For tea, was more bread and butter and frayed-looking sweet cakes, which were probably bought as stales. Yeah, probably bought as stales from the baker. For super, there was the Hill Flabby Lancashire cheese and biscuits. The Brickers never called these biscuits biscuits. They were always referred to them referringly as cream crackers. Have another cream cracker, Miss Riley. You'll like a cream cracker with your cheese, disclosing over the fact that there was only cheese for super. Several bottles of Worcestershire sauce and a half-full jar of Mademoiselle lived permanently on the table. It was usually to souse everything, even a piece of cheese with forecast sauce, but I never saw anyone brave the more millennium jar. It says, which was an unspeakable mass of stickiness and dust. Mr. Brooker had meals separately, but also took snacks from any meal that happened to be going and maneuvered. Let's see. Maneuvered and with great skill for what she called the bottom of the pot, meaning the strongest cup of tea. She had a habit of consistently wiping her mouth on one of her blankets. Towards the end of my stay, she took to tearing of stripes of newspaper of this purpose. And in the morning, the floor was often littered with crumbled up balls of slimy paper, which there for hours. The smell of kitchen was dreadful. But as with that of bedroom, you cease to notice it for a while. It struck me that this place must be really the Brookers, and is the way they say same things over and over again. It gives you feeling that they are not real people and all, but it kind of goes forever, rehearsing the same fatale rigmarole. In the end, Mrs. Brooker, self-pitying talk, always the same complaints, over and over, and always ending with tremendous whine of it. It does seem hard, done it now, revolted me even more than her habit of wiping her mouth with bits of newspaper. But it's no use saying that people like the Biggers are just disgusting and trying to put their out of mind. For the existing in tens and hundreds of thousands, they are one of the characteristics byproducts of modern world. You cannot discard them if you accept the civilizations that produce them. For this is part at least of what industrialism has done for us. Columbus sailed the Atlantic. The first steam engines tottered into motion. The British squares stood firm under the French guns at Waterloo. The one-eyed scoundrels of the 19th century praised God and filled their pockets. And this is where it all led to. Them bringing slums and dark black kitchens with sticky, aging people creeping around and around them like black beetles. It is a kind of duty to see and smell such as place now and again, especially smell them, lest you should forget they exist. Though perhaps, which ran off the sink inside, in which I suppose was blocked. I had time to see everything about her sacking a prawn, her clumsy clogs, her arms red-deaned by the cold. She looked up at the train past, and almost near enough to catch her eye. She had a round, pale face, the usual exacting face of the slum girl who is 25 and looks 40. Heads, talks to miscarriages and drudgery, and it wrote, and it wore, for the second in which I saw the most desolated, hopeless expressions I have ever seen. It struck then that we're mistaken when we saw that. It wasn't the same for them as it would be for us. And that people bred in slums can imagine nothing but slums. For what I saw in her face was nothing but the slums. For what I saw in her face was ignorant suffering of the animal. She knew well enough that what was happening to her, understood as well as I did how dreadful as a destiny. It was kneeling there in her bitter curled on the slimy stones of the backyard, poking a stick of a fall drain pipe. But quite soon, the drain threw away its open country, and that seemed strange, almost unnatural, as though the open country had been a kind park. Far in the industrial areas, one always feels that the smoke and filth must go forever, that no other earth's surface can escape them. In a crowded, dirty little country like ours, takes development almost for granted. Slacks, heath, and chimneys seem the more normal, probably landscape than grass and trees. And even in the depths of the country, when you drive your fork into the ground, you half expect to lever up a broken bottle, a rusty can. But out here, the snow was untrodden and so deep that only the tops of the stone boundary walls were snowing. Were showing. I'm sorry. Winding over the hills like Black Pass, I remember that D.H. Lawrence, writing of this landscape of another year by, said that the snow-covered hills rippled away into the distance like muscle. It was not the smile that would encourage to me. To my eye, the snow and the black walls were more like white dress, with black piping running across it. Although the snow was hardly broken, the sun shining brightly, and behind the shut windows of the carriage it seems warm. According to the almanac, this was spring, and a few of the birds seemed to believe it. For the first time in my life, in a bare patch beside the line, I saw rooks treading. They did it on the ground and not, as I should have expected, in a tree. The manner of court was curious. The female stood with her beak open, and the male walked around her and appeared to feeding her. I had hardly been in the train half an hour, but it seems a very long way from the Bricker's back kitchen to the emptiness slopes of snow. The bright sunshine and the big gleaming birds, the whole industrial district are really one enormous town of about the same populations as Greater London, but fortunately a much longer area, so that even in the middle of them there's still room for the patches of cleanness and density. This is an encouragement though. In spite of hard trying, man has not succeeded in doing his dirt anywhere. The earth and still so empty that even at the filthy earth of civilizations, you can find fields where the grass is green instead of gray. Sorry about that. Alright, back on. Perhaps you look for them. You might even for quite a long time. Perhaps never 20 minutes. The train was rolling through open country before the villa civilizations began to close in upon us again. And then the other slums, and then the slang heaps. Coaching chimneys, blast furnaces, candles, and gasometers of another industrial town. Our civilization pays Chesterton. Yeah, Pace Chesterton is found on the whole more completely than one realization until one stops to think about it. The machines that kept us alive and the machines that made us the machines are all directly dependent upon coal. In the metabolism of the Western world, the coal miner is second in importance, only to the man who plows the soil. He is a sort of grimy curiosity upon those whose shoulders nearly everything that is not grimy is supported. For the reason, the actual process by which is coal extracted is well worth watching. If you get the chance or are willing to take the trouble, when you go down a coal mine, it is important to try and get the cool face. When the fillers are not worked, this is not easy. Because when the mine is working, visitors are a nuisance and are not encouraged. But if you go at any other time, it is possible to come away with a total wrong impression. On a Sunday, for instance, a mine seems almost peaceful. The time to go there is when the machines are roaring and the air is black with coal dust. And when you can actually see what the miners have to do, those times in places like hell, or at any rate like my own mental picture of hell. Most of these things one imagines in hell are the heat, noise, confusions, darkness, foul air, and all above. Unbearable cream space. Everything except the fire, for there is no fire down there except the feeble beams of Davy lamps and electric torches would scarcely penetrate the clouds of coal dust. When you have finally got there, and getting there is a job in itself, I will explain that in a moment. You crawl through the last line of pit props and see opposite you a shiny black wall 3 or 4 feet high. This is the coal face. Overhead is smooth ceilings made by the rock from which the coal has been cut. Underneath is a rock again, so that the gallery aren't only as in then a yard. The first impression of all, overmastering everything else for a while. It is a frightful defending.
Thank you so much, buddy. I'll see you later.
Then from the conveyor belt which carries the coal away, you cannot see very far, because the fog of the coal dust throws back the beam of your lamp. But you can see on either side of your line of half-naked kneeling men, 1 to every 4 or 5 yards.
Okay, wrap it up right there. Say, okay.
Okay,
We'll be back next week.
We'll be back next week for sure. All right, guarantee, man.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, man. God bless.
Thanks a lot, everybody, for listening, and we'll get anything that we had glitchy this week will be fixed next week, hopefully. All right, much love to all. All right, and we will see you guys on the flip side.